The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping!
Stunner! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, August 5th, 2024. This program starts now. Wow, it is a beautiful time in sports. We have news from all around the globe. We have the Olympics still happening. The Americans are beating that ass.
Hell yeah.
We'll obviously get an update on that. We have college football news happening at a rapid rate, both up in Michigan, maybe in Colorado with Athlon Sports, somebody we've never heard of, chit-chatted. We'll have Pete Thamel on later in the hour to break that all down. There's NFL news happening literally by the moment around the league in cities everywhere. Joint practices are starting to happen. New contracts are taking place. Holdouts are still happening. And we'll have Adam Schefter on in about 15 minutes to chit-chat about that. We have some baseball news taking place. And per baseball, it is not actual good, but it's bad news.
Okay.
Cannot wait to dive into that. We got so much to talk about. We hope you had a fantastic weekend. The original Tribal Chief is back.
Come on.
The only Tribal Chief is back. The one Tribal Chief is back. Roman Reigns returned to the WWE on Saturday, so obviously there's a lot of magic happening around the wrestling world as well. It is a glorious Monday. I'm not here alone. No. I'm here at the Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Love your America stuff you've been rocking because the Olympics are a place where the entire world gets to do battle.
Truly.
In a sprint of 100 meters yesterday, I saw people from all around the globe in it. There was only one winner.
That's right.
Who's that?
That was somebody from the United States of America.
Hell yeah.
That was Noah Lyles, doing big things for us. Obviously, one of the greatest races of all time. We'll get to an entire Olympic update, but this finish right here needs to be talked about. L3, third one from the left, lane 7, I think it is. Noah Lyles, historically bad start is what they were saying, and chases down everybody else for a massive photo finish win. Old buddy
Thompson.
He's supposed to be the one. This guy, he's big dude, too.
He's huge.
He's a massive dude. You put him on a football field. I know that gets said about everybody that's fast, but that guy, big, fast, strong, had the lead. Then what? Noah Lyles walks him. Photo finish, they have to show it. It's not the foot. It's the torso.
Yep.
The lean by Noah Lyles that he's probably worked on for his entire life thousands and thousands of times. It's the little things that make you a champion. And I think I saw Will Compton tweet out this photo and talk about how coaches in every sport are going to utilize this photo to drive home the details, drive home the finer things, and force you to do the meticulous bullshit time and time again. Because what can happen at the end? Oh, a gold medal, best in the world. You focus on the small things more than everybody else, you're going to end up just like Noah Lyles, who, if you go by foot, probably third, maybe even fourth place if something's sneaking in there. But instead, it's a torso, which he knew. Yep. Perfect lean, perfect finish, perfect win. United States of America beats the shit out of everybody.
That's right.
We love that.
Love that.
There's a lot of medals for us. We'll talk about that in a matter of moments. 9-year NFL vet looking incredibly jocked is here, Darius J. Butler.
Trying to get there.
D-Butch, big news happening around the NFL right now.
Yep.
Joint practices. And we'll get to the Giants and Lions here in a matter of moments. But these joint practices, we've been saying for a while. For as long as I've had a microphone in front of me, chatting about the NFL.
Yep.
And you as well. We have said that the joint practices are a recipe, okay, for a fight. That's all it is. You put all the ingredients in there. Only a certain amount of jobs for both of these teams. You put 2 scouting departments that could potentially hire you for a living to put food on your table. There is a chance to maybe make yourself look great to a completely different coaching staff. There is a chance to prove yourself. There's a chance to take a little extra effort. There's a chance to do a lot of things. And whenever you see somebody from a different uniform for the first time, and you're at the bottom of the roster, and you have a chance to make your mark, every once in a while it's going to be going a little bit longer. It's going a little bit stronger. Maybe doing a little bit of a dirty shot. We saw the Texans doing it to their own players, let alone you do it to another team's players. It is a recipe for a fight no matter what. Chuck Pagano just put out a tweet as these videos came from the Giants-Lions practices of there's been 3 fights now, and we will certainly dive into all of them, where he goes, it needs to be competitive, not combative. Well, the jobs are very competitive. So in a physical sport, it's going to come combative in a matter of moments. I don't know if I've ever seen an inter-practice, joint practice happen without a fight, especially if there's full pads involved. But we're in that time of year right now where these dudes are brawling, absolutely brawling.
You rarely get through a full session without a brawl, without a fight, without a little dust up, especially with the full pads on. Like, it's hot. These are what we call dog days in training camp. And to your point, typically in pro practices, you always preach, hey, take care of your guys, take care of your own guys. If I'm going up against Reggie, I'm not taking Reggie Wayne or T.Y. Hilton to the ground. Now, if I'm going up against Malik Neighbors or another guy in another jersey, maybe I got to compete through the ground. I'm getting maybe more some realistic game reps. You want to take it to that limit. And as a coach, you want your guys, you want to be able to, Bill Carr always says, I want to have to pull my guys back as opposed to push them forward and get after it. It's obviously a fine line. You don't want brawls. You don't want a broken hand, throwing a punch like that. Saw Sewell throwing some big blows. But, that's part of the game. It's football. It's violence. It's a controlled violence, obviously. But once you get up against another team, another color for a few days, like you said, you're trying to prove yourself not only to your staff, obviously if you're on the bottom of the roster especially, but to that other staff as well. And it's good things that come out of joint practice as well. You see different looks, you see different fronts, different coverages, different cadences, calls and things like that. So especially guys who haven't gotten real game reps, it's great for them. But obviously you don't want to go too far and get somebody hurt.
Yeah, you can choreograph certain situations that you don't know if they'll show up in the preseason, but with choreographing in situations, you're forcing everybody to go 100%. Goal line, fourth down, red zone. Sure. These are all highly contested situations. One-on-ones, both linebacker, running back, offensive line, defensive line, wide receiver, corner. And it's like, you got to go. And if we're talking about the bottom half of the roster because they're fighting for jobs, so obviously they might be a little bit more scrappy.
Sure, okay.
They might do a little bit. But at the top two, ones don't want to lose the ones. We obviously saw what happened with Hall and Nuke. Whenever the whole thing, don't you touch me, I'm you. Like that stuff happens, and those fights happen from that. Let's go to the Giants and the Lions joint practice now. Motor City Dan Campbell, every time he speaks, it's hard not to just be like, this guy's hilarious.
The best.
This guy's the man. This is what he had to say about Coach Dayball of the New York Giants today as he was briefing the media before joint practice.
I told him he's a chameleon. This guy's unbelievable. I mean, when I was working with him, he looks about like he does now, and then within about 2 months, it was
fat.
And then he's like, you know what? I'm going to cut it back. And then all of a sudden, it's like 3 months later, he's back down to. I mean, it's unbelievable, and he can. Hey, if he decides he's going to do this, he's going to do this. He decides I'm going to let it go, I'm going to let it go. And I love that about him. I mean, he's rare that way. He's a hell of a coach. He is. I mean, you don't do what you did a year ago without being able to coach. So I got a lot of respect for Dave's.
Motor City Dan Campbell was drafted to the Giants. He stayed there for 4 years. He said he has a lot of, obviously, personal relationships around the Giants building with the Mara family and Dave's. That's why he started complimenting him. And he said, hey, easy come, easy go, man.
Yeah.
That guy's weight, it comes, cheeseburger, he's fat. Runs a lap, he's thin, but nonetheless, he's a good football coach, paying his respect and his homage. And I don't think there's enough people that are paying respect to Motor City Dan Campbell. And obviously, it's potentially because whenever he started this entire thing, he said he was going to non-decaps. And the way he talks, he'll wear an IndyCar helmet to a press conference. He'll say, man, you guys are like the wind beneath my wings, man, and like even do the full implement. He's like a musician or an artist whenever he speaks, or somebody who's trying to be entertaining as opposed to the same old coach speak. So I think a lot of people think he's a big, dumb dipshit. That is not the case at all.
Nope.
If you look at what he's been able to do to the Detroit Lions, and obviously it's alongside Brad, and it's alongside a lot of great coordinators and great players, but there's one man that is setting the tone for the Detroit Lions since he got the job. It was a man who said, hey, we're going to embrace Detroit. We're going to be about Detroit. We're going to be tough. We're going to be gritty, and we're going to draft the right guys. Now, all these draft picks come after the season that took place, before the first season happened. Remember, his pillar player, Penei Sewell and St. Brown. Both of them brand new deals, still on the squad. They were the people they wanted to build and set the team's culture around, and they certainly did that. In a matter of 3 years, They're now the favorites of the NFC North. They're now one of the favorites to be in the Super Bowl, where for 150 years the Detroit Lions were laughed at pretty much?
Yep.
This dude needs to get a little bit more credit for how he is as a coach, for how he's been able to turn around a program, turn around a building, and how he's been able to remain himself whenever he's doing these press conferences. Now, obviously, Detroit's not a big market, and they are the Detroit Lions.
Of course.
And the way he delivers his messaging publicly is one that a lot of people cannot take serious, potentially, if he didn't want to. But he's a great coach.
Yeah.
And he's built his team on everything that you need to win. They're fully bought in. They're fully committed. That's why whenever you hear the Lions are going to be in joint practices, you know 10,000% that there's going to be an us versus them bunker mentality, because that's what MCDC has literally built his entire team on. So there's going to be brawls. Some of these fights this morning coming out of practice are massive. We're talking 15, 20, 30 people getting involved. Jeez. Absolute scrums. A lot of pushing, a lot of shoving. Then every once in a while, one person will get the best of another person. Then another little start will happen. And there's little micro bursts happening within the group. Then there's people just trying to show face. Hey, I'm in here. Then somebody, wait, I didn't get any of this. There's 5 plays ago. I wanted to fight this motherfucker. Comes flying in over the top of this entire thing. Now, normally it involves everybody but a couple positions. Kickers, punters, normally not fighting.
Okay.
Long snappers, normally not fighting.
Sure.
But if the fight gets near us, helmet on, in frame. Need to be in the shot.
Got to.
Have to.
Cameras are always rolling.
Have to.
They don't stop rolling. That's important too.
Front toward fight.
Right.
Okay. Never. No. Because on film, this is a good fight here. Let's zoom in on, what were you doing? So hold on, let me get this straight. So, guy that's going to be blocking for you, whenever you're doing your little kicking stuff, he's in a fight with 3 people over there. You're the closest person. What do you did put your helmet on. You get in no, actually, you put your helmet on so you don't get hit by any glancing blows and you run away. You are considered an outcast in that locker room forever. Now, very easy way to win locker room over, though, kicker, punter. Right into that thing. You're like, look, even the fucking punter was going to get some. Even the kicker was going to get in. That's good, but normally not us. Also, quarterbacks. Never in there. Let alone if you're a paid quarterback. Daniel Jones got in scrap this morning.
What? Love it.
Daniel Jones. Now, look, this is a cell phone video, obviously, so we appreciate the hell out of Jordan Renan, who gets this. But look at Daniel Jones. A little bit of a scrum here. Daniel Jones, red jersey, coming in, pushes.
Whoa.
Get off my guy.
Dahn.
Get off my guy.
I love it.
Absolutely love it. Now, obviously, if your quarterback's in there, everybody has to be in there.
Right.
Kickers and punters, Graham Gano should be sprinting in there to get in that fight as well if you see Daniel Jones in there, especially if he's making $40+ million and has been there for a while and had the entire offseason that he had with Hard Knocks, where his own GM and scouting department was like, do we know if this guy's worth the money that we paid him? It's going to be built around him. And he said he obviously didn't love the narratives that were coming out of Hard Knocks. Him getting in the fight, D-Butt, I turned, as soon as I saw this video, I actually double, put the heart on this thing. I'm a Daniel Jones guy. Him getting that arm, that's worth $40 million involved in pushing. Didn't throw a punch, which we respect and appreciate, can't break your hand. But him diving in there to save one of his guys, never see it. I fucking love it. Look out for the Giants this year. Look out for the Giants this year. They got the quarterback fighting for the offensive line. They got Daboll going whoop, whoop. They got all eyes on Joe Shane. I mean, obviously, nobody thinks the Giants are going to do anything this year, but I love Daniel Jones after that one video. And that's where you can learn from these types of situations that I think a lot of people blow out of proportion. They're fighting, they lack discipline, they're this, they're that. What you're trying to learn is who you got on the roster. Daniel Jones is a dog. I respect the shit out of it, D-Ball.
You got to love that. And obviously, like you said, the expectations aren't super high for the Giants, but I do love seeing this from Daniel Jones, getting in there just enough, not fully getting in there, diving in to where he could be on the bottom of a pile. But hey, my guy, he's on top of my guy. Let me get him off. I think a coach, I don't know who that was, dressed up on the side. Hey, let's get this franchise quarterback out of here. Let's get our starting quarterback out of here. But I love to see that from Daniel Jones. And there's been some at the beginning of the camp, you saw all bad clips of Daniel Jones. I've been seeing Danny Dimes kind of pop up on the timeline
there
a
was
little bit more.
Nukes coming out of that arm. I saw dropped in there.
Malik
Malik Neighbors also might be a
weapon.
Maybe Daniel Jones needs a Malik Neighbors. Like the attitude, the swagger, everything about it. Like, hey, are you going to be pissed you don't get the ball early? Yeah, I am. Are you going to get mad and fight? Yeah, I am. Maybe Daniel Jones needed somebody like Malik Neighbors to come in and be his yin to his yin in this entire thing. And if he's going to be fighting people, I'll tell you what, Daniel Jones, I might buy a damn jersey. I might buy a Daniel Jones. It was that quick, literally, as soon as because they don't tell me who you are, show me who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle of one of the fights, there's been 3 now. We saw the first one. The Daniel Jones one was the second one. There has been one since we have gone live at their practice.
Damn.
They are getting after it at that practice. They're going to be exhausted. They are going to be absolutely exhausted. The amount of energy that is being exerted during these fights is through the roof. That's what a lot of coaches say. Oh, you got energy, huh? Oh, you guys want to fight, huh? Okay. On the line! And then bang, you kind of sort it. But this is expected. But Daniel Jones being a dog like that, I did not at all. Now, some people say it's very dumb for him to get in there.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Some people will say, why would you have a red jersey on, nobody's even allowed to touch you. So if you push somebody, some D lineman turns around and sees you. If he hits you, that's, and I know it's being talked about a lot, but that does potentially start not a world war, but like a full-on
team on
if a
team.
D lineman was to swing at a red jersey Daniel Jones in the middle of a fight, even if Daniel Jones pushed, which he certainly did, that would be
probably got a call.
Yeah, probably got an
yeah, that is this thing is completely over. So Daniel Jones is in a very good spot. This is one of those you can't do anything to me type situation. But the fact his first reaction was to get in there, I still absolutely love.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, when we met him down in Atlanta before he got drafted, I don't think any of us could have foreseen that Duke guy wearing a button up and a nice little pullover, 3/4 zip, doing something like that. But to your point about Malik Neighbors, I don't think Daniel Jones has ever had a player of his caliber catching passes. You could argue Darren Waller, but obviously he didn't really play very much with Daniel Jones since he was there. But if you're a Giants fan with what's going on with the Cowboys and then who knows with the Commies, you could kind of feel like, hey, this does kind of have some reminiscence of 2021 where they went and beat Minnesota at Minnesota in the playoffs. They could be a decent team this year.
Jaden Daniels will be playing in preseason.
Mm-hmm.
That news came out this weekend. There was also some other players where it was announced where they were playing. It's interesting. We'll keep our ear to the ground for all of it. We'll talk to Schefter here in a matter of moments. He is currently en route somewhere, which is always a Schefter play.
Of course.
While we wait for that, let's go ahead and get an update on the Olympics. It was a great weekend to be a United States of America.
Yes, awesome. It was.
Joining us live from Hammer, Dahn, Tone Diggs with some Olympic update. What up, Tone?
What up? Yes, it was a great weekend to be an American at the Olympics. On Saturday, they had 18 medals in total, which was the most for a single day ever at the Olympics for the U.S., so that was pretty good. There was a lot of golds and a lot of big events. You started with the Noah Lyles in the 100, which he won by 0.005 thousandths of a second. But also yesterday, Scott Scoot Scheffler shot a 62 on Sunday to come back. Rom was in the lead. He didn't do as well down the stretch. He was 20 under, but Scotty going 62. I believe it was that's 8 or 9 under on Sunday to come back and win
course
the gold
record,
for the
actually.
U.S. Yes, course record.
Shot a course record on a Sunday of the Olympics. And on Friday, he was kind of out of it. Friday, he was out of it. And then Saturday, he started working. Started Sunday behind. He's the first one to ever win a gold medal from starting Sunday behind. Obviously, the last 2 Olympics, Americans have won. Justin Rose won in 2016, but that was pre-COVID, so it doesn't exist, right?
That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't even know if they count that anymore, which is a damn shame for Justin Rose because it's hard not to say we've won every gold medal that the Olympics ever had in golf. Scotty Scheffler getting choked up on top of the podium during the national anthem was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, for a guy who before the tournament started, all these other golfers saying, "Hey, obviously, my goal is to go out there to win." For him to just be like, "Hey, I just want to go have fun and kind of enjoy the moment." Look at everything he's accomplished this year. In the grand scheme of things, the Olympic golf event, I don't know if to a professional golfer that means as much as winning a Masters or something like that, but then you get into contention and he's in that moment and you the gravity of winning a gold medal for your country hits him. For a guy who has accomplished everything there is to accomplish in the golf world, that almost choked me up. It was oh my God, this isn't just another Sunday. This guy cares more about this than it seems anything else that he's accomplished in his career so far.
Wife and I were hanging out with baby. We're on Peacock on the golf tab. So I watched the entire post celebration, then the press conference and the interviews afterwards. I went through the whole thing because I Mackenzie's active.
Nice.
It is awesome. So not really able to change channel, search what's live, what's not live. And while the golf was happening, Joker and Alcaraz were battling, which I think Tone is about to get to in a matter of moments. It was a beautiful sports morning on Sunday. But when Scotty Scheffler was talking about everything that it meant to him, and he said he went to the gymnastics, and when he saw them on top of the podium and the national anthem was going with the revenge and the comeback story from what it was, he said he was getting choked up watching it then. So then whenever he was standing on top of the podium, it like kind of all just kind of hit him, because that man was in a jail cell just a few months ago.
He was.
Right.
That man was in a jail cell just a few months ago. Now he's on top of the Olympic podium. God bless America. God bless Scotty Scheffler. Congratulations to he, Fleetwood, and
Hideki Matsuyama.
and sorry, Tom Kim.
For sure. Especially
Tom
now.
Kim. Tom Kim was seeing a lot of things. Yeah, especially right now. Back to you, Tom. A little bit more Olympic update.
Yeah, let's
pal.
talk about a few of the Olympic goats, starting with Katie Ledecky, who she's now the most decorated women's Olympian in U.S. history. She's got her 14th total medal, 9 Olympic medals, 4th straight in the 800. She won this weekend. I don't know if Ledecky gets as much credit as she deserved. Like she is in the Phelps-ish range, and she is absolutely dominant.
The issue is the 1500, which they hadn't run forever in the women's swimming. That was a men's swimming event for a while. Then they add the 1500 in. And since they've added it in, I don't remember, 4 Olympics ago, maybe, I don't know what it is. She has the top 20 times in the 1500.
Killing everybody.
So, like, I think the issue is, it's like if she doesn't crack her own records, she's not good, as opposed to just beating the rest of the world as bad as she is. This is going to be a 10, 15, 20 year down the road type of respect that's going to be paid to Katie Ledecky because of how humble she is, how it's just kind of nonchalant, and how she's supposed to win.
Yep.
They said Titmus out of Australia was supposed to have her, right? What was on the call?
They kept saying, like, hey, if Titmus and Ledecky are close at 600 meters, then Titmus is probably going to pull away in the end. They were close at 600, and Ledecky pulled away at the end. Actually, Madden, who got bronze, she almost caught Titmus, so we were 1-2, but ended up gold, bronze. Can't hate that.
Now, with that being said, we did beat the hell out of Australia. We had more golds in the pool, more silvers in the pool, and more bronzes in the pool. And I did see the Australian swimming fan contingency who, once again, we were just talking shit to you, but you started talking shit to us. We buried you. Per capita, we have the 4th most amount of medals than any other country in the world. Shut the fuck up. Okay?
Per capita.
Okay, if we're going to start doing a per capita question, we will obviously wonder how the hell the island of Jamaica has become the fastest island of all. We can get into that, we can get into that whole thing. How about how much water is around you guys everywhere? Okay, in Australia. You ever think about per water, per base, per border, per everything? We don't want to get into that. And with that being said, we are also very confused about how we're not better at soccer with how many people we have.
No kidding.
Doesn't make sense.
And we don't want to do the per capita conversation strictly because we'll have to look in the mirror and realize that we're bad at it.
We're one get away.
Yeah, so you guys need to not use that as a distraction from what's going on because we have nothing to counter with.
No.
So stop.
And this needs to be a fair fight.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we need to be able to.
Yeah, exactly.
So
is this a debate or no?
Okay,
we need something in return.
And with that being said, we're better than you, but nobody's better than the man who remains. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
They're also an entire continent. We're just a country. Okay, so
that's right.
Point.
Nobody.
Good point. Great point.
Your entire continent can battle against us.
Do the stats on that.
Boom.
Another one of the GOATs, Simone Biles, wins her 7th gold. She won it in vault this weekend. I believe the gymnastics for the women are now done. She got silver in the floor routine this afternoon. So she finishes with 7 golds total.
Yeah, and she got silver. Charles got bronze in the floor routine. She hit the Simone's double or the Biles double, and then she hit the other one too. She was like perfect. Like she had a perfect outing whenever she needed it. Dominated. Congrats to her. It's been an honor to watch. She did not rule out 2028 in LA at home, which is huge. Neither did Ledecky. Because it's coming back to America, so a lot of these American heroes are like, they see what Marchand's getting to do in the water in France. It's like, why not us? We'll return to the Olympics update from Hammer, Dahn, later. Congrats to Simone. Yeah, she did all of them. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, Tone Diggs. Good work, Tone.
Thanks, boys.
Joining us now live is senior NFL insider for ESPN, friend of the program, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Shefty.
Gentlemen, what's going on?
Shefty, you were just negotiating a deal or finding out about a deal that was being negotiated, and we appreciate you for joining us. Let's get right into it. Tyreek Hill, new deal. This comes after the DJ Moore deal gets done in Chicago. Tyreek Hill gets a brand new deal. We've been hearing chirpings for a while that Tyreek wanted something new now that the market has kind of changed completely. He was voted the #1 player in the NFL by NFL players. He was allegedly seeking something new, but it wasn't really because he was at practice. It wasn't as loud. How'd we get here? What are the thoughts on it? What does this mean for other wide receivers, Jamar Chase, Aiyuk, and plenty that are looking for money? Shefty?
Yeah, I just think we have one more example here of a guy who's getting paid the guaranteed money. You see the numbers right there. It's a 3-year, $90 million deal. What is this? What's the guarantee? $65 million. But now, if you look at the total guarantees on the deal, it's like $106.5 million. And so that, I think, becomes a new benchmark that some of these other guys look to. Now, look, CD's got 1 year left, and that deal with Dallas is going to get done at some point in time. The question is, when does it get done and for how much? You can't tell me that when that regular season opens, that CD Lamb is not going to be there for week 1. I don't believe that. I'll believe that when I see it. I expect him to be there. I think a trickier one is Jamar Chase because he's got 2 years left on his deal. And the Bengals, at least Mike Brown, was pretty open that he wanted to wait until after the season. Now, I think there are people in the Bengals organization that want to get this deal done. They know what the situation is. And we're talking about a wide receiver who was willing in college to sit out a full year to hold on to his value, to make sure nothing happens so that he can get into the draft and become the great top pick that he became for the Cincinnati Bengals. So, again, I think that's a little bit trickier. But the numbers are what they are. We have enough wide receivers now who are averaging $30 million plus per year to do a deal for CD Lamb, to do a deal right now for Jamar Chase, to do a deal for Brandon Aiyuk. Like, it's not hard to do some of these deals right now, and just Tyreek gets you one more example of a wide receiver who's going to be paid a lot of money.
Yeah, unless you don't want to do it. And congrats to all those guys getting the money.
Yep, deserve it.
We don't know how long it's going to happen for. We don't know what the wide receiver market is going to look like in a few years, which is probably why Jamar Chase is like, yo, market is up right now. Let's hit it. Because you never know. You might wake up on a Monday and the market goes a complete different direction.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
The wide receiver market's up, the stock market's down.
Allegedly.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
And crypto,
right?
I mean, allegedly.
To say the least.
I haven't looked into it. Definitely. I guess 1,000 points or whatever. So that made its way into my algo. And that's when you know.
Yeah.
That's when you know, oh, no.
Cause for concern.
If it makes it into my algorithm, that is, we know it's an issue because I am a, pretty isolated sports individual. That was all. I woke up this morning. It was like, all right, obviously Tyreek deal, he's happy. Jamar Chase isn't happy. Let me go ahead and do this. $1.9 trillion has been dumped out of the stuff.
Excuse me?
How much? How many? And then red arrow on the next one. And I'm like, I don't know what are they talking about there? That's the whole thing. What country is that one? Oh. All of them. Oh.
Okay.
Then you see draft, and it's not about the NFL.
Yeah. And then it's like
what?
Then I start seeing photos of where ships are going and things. I'm like, wait a minute! Give me back to my sports! Unlike. Hope everybody ends up working out. But let's talk about the wide receiver market a little bit more because there was some conspiracy fodder. Well, which I guess.
Oh boy!
Let's get back to the wide receiver market. The wide receiver market. There was some conspiracy fodder over the weekend from Boston Connor.
Yeah, Shefty. A lot of people in New England are just kind of throwing around the idea of an Aiyuk trade with Matthew Judon involved because obviously Judon, who is back at practice but has been unhappy with his contract situation, is Aiyuk to New England a reality in any sort? And would Matthew Judon be a piece that would be moved in a possible trade? Because, I mean, it is very public, too. Elliot Wolf has called the Niners like 6 times since the Aiyuk contract hasn't been done.
Yeah, who comes up with these conspiracy theories that has Matthew Judon going to San
Pretty
Francisco?
cool.
Like, where does that come from?
Pretty cool.
People.
Somebody with it. Very creative.
Just people.
These guys are creative. Or girls.
It's interesting.
I mean, guys is a,
Look, to your point,
Universal.
I think New England has been watching Brandon Aiyuk all along.
Is that Judon? Is that Judon and Aiyuk right there? We're making a play?
No. Brandon Aiyuk is not being traded for Matthew Judon. That's not happening.
How about anybody else?
Okay.
Good.
We can dismiss that. Again, I think New England is in the market of acquiring players. I think that they've watched the Brandon Aiyuk situation from afar the entire time. I think they're tracking it. I think every team out there just is wondering, like, the longer this goes on, do we jump in and make a call on Brandon Aiyuk? Would they listen to our offer? New England certainly, I'm sure, would love to have a guy like Brandon Aiyuk. But again, it takes two sides to tango. You got to satisfy the 49ers if you're ever going to make a deal, and the player has to be willing to take the contract from your organization. And even though he doesn't have a no-trade clause in his contract, he has an unofficial no-trade clause, Brandon Aiyuk does right now, because if he doesn't want to go to a team, he could say, I'm not taking that contract, and then why is that team going to give up the amount of compensation it would take to go get him if they know that they can't get him under a long-term deal?
I thought you were going to say the unofficial trade clause was the fact that the Niners say we could have it for 3 more years if we want. We got 1 more year in the contract and we got 2 franchise tags. Yeah. I thought that was the unofficial no-trade clause that is being held by one particular party in there.
And Judon
Brandon Aiyuk has got an unofficial no-trade tag, or an unofficial no-trade clause, because he has the ability to say to these teams, I'm not taking a deal if I don't want to go there. And if he's not taking the deal, then why would the team give up assets, draft capital, to go get a guy like that if he is showing or telling them that he's not willing to commit there long term?
Has that happened, do you know of, or are you just saying hypothetically?
We're talking hypothetically right now.
Okay, yeah, because this has happened in the past, obviously, where teams have wanted to make a play for somebody, and then the player has said, we are not going to agree to a deal if you trade for us. So it's a waste of assets, and it's never going to happen. That has taken place in the NFL's history before. But the fact that the Niners have 3 years potentially in their eyes, and Aiyuk potentially has places he wants to go that are kind of, that potentially, I don't know if anything happens. What do you think ends up with Aiyuk? I mean, just like you said, CeeDee Lamb, you don't see a world where he's not playing week 1. You said the Jamar Chase thing, a little bit more interesting. How about Aiyuk? How about Trent?
Trent Williams, look, they'd love to work to get him back. They're trying to get him back, figure out a scenario. I think he's got 2 years left on his deal, and you're talking about a Hall of Fame tackle, an elite player.
GOAT, they're saying.
But the one concern you have, he's 36 years old, and so you're going to guarantee more money. And that's the thing. Trent Williams is good enough that he could say to the Niners, "I want more money. I want more money, or I'm not coming." And so that's where they're at. And my guess would be at some point in time that the two sides figure out a way to get this done. But Trent Williams is a very proud guy, very smart guy. He's handled his business at the NFL level in an A+ way. So he knows how to get what he wants. And there's time. Like the fact that Trent Williams is missing camp in late July, early August, that's a favor to him. Like that, he doesn't need to be there. Like as long as he's there August 20th and beyond to get ready for that Monday night opener against the Jets on Monday Night Football, everybody will be okay. If we get to the point 2-3 weeks from now and this is still going on with Trent Williams, that would be, I think, worrisome for the 40s.
So Trent's going to be back, we assume. That's going to be something that's going to be...
Well, you'd like to think that they'll figure out a way.
Aiyuk, do you think he's back and playing for the Niners starting day?
Again, I think that you just look every day and you look at that situation. He's holding in. He hasn't been out there. There's no resolution. The teams are out there tracking it. They want to see what's going on to see if they can figure out if there's a way to pry him loose. I just think that situation right now is unpredictable.
Okay. Wow. Volatile.
Yeah.
Like, we went back to markets. Markets. We'll stay out of it. I don't need my algo picking up and me saying anything. Let's not use the word market, by the way, around me.
No, never
I don't care if you're going to shop. I don't care if you're talking about wide receivers. I don't care if you're doing anything. I don't want to hear it on this particular thing.
Right. Not even a farmer's market?
No, I don't want to hear it. See, you can say farmer's setup.
Sure, okay.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
Farmer's markets are good. Farmer's setups are a good time.
Great time.
Very good time.
Delicious.
Very, very good time. Let's talk about something that is not a good time. Some injuries are starting to pop up. Go ahead, D-Butch.
Yeah, we'll stay in the NFC West. Puka Nacua, LA Rams, see a week-to-week now on the knee injury. Obviously more concerning than a day-to-day. What's the update there with Puka?
Well, he left practice Sunday, and his knee was wrapped. And so when you see that, you worry about it, right? And I made some calls, and basically what came back is it's not serious, but it's week to week. So when I hear week to week in the preseason, that tells me, I say, okay, we won't see that guy until at the very least the last week of the preseason. Now, the Rams are a team that doesn't play its regulars in the preseason very much anyway. So what that injury tells me is there's a real possibility that we won't see Puka at all until the regular season opener in week 1. Do I think he's going to be there in week 1 in Detroit? I do. I don't think it's that problematic. But I think that is an injury right now that is enough to sit him down and hold him out of the preseason games. Like, I don't we're not going to see him the first 2 weeks.
What was it? Is it bruised patella? They said PCL. Did we find out what it was? Because they were wondering whether it was when he hit the ground or if there was a little twisty twist or something like that.
Don't know the exact diagnosis of the knee, but you hear knee, wide receiver, and you say, again, it's August 5th. Let's get him ready for September 5th, not August 5th. That I guarantee that's their thinking right now.
Hey, Godspeed, Oos.
Yeah. Good luck.
Godspeed, Oos. Let's stay in L.A. Another injury. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Shefty, do you have any updates on Justin Herbert's foot injury? Because it seems like plantar fasciitis is like one of those things that can kind of linger, and obviously Harbaugh told us exactly how he was going to handle it, and he did. But when exactly did this happen, and should there be more cause for concern for him than hey, he'll be ready, by week 1?
Well, I think if your quarterback has something like plantar fascia in his right foot, it's always problematic. And I think the reason that they were so forthcoming about it is that basically they came out and said, we're putting him in a walking boot for 2 weeks. Basically, we're shutting him down. And then they're going to ramp him back up to try to get him ready for the regular season opener. Again, I expect Justin Herbert to play week 1. I expect that this injury would be there for him. I expect that there'll be pain-killing injections to deal with some of that pain on Sunday, that he'll be able to get through without being too limited at all. But these are not fun injuries. They're very painful. They're very uncomfortable. And it's the kind of thing that they're trying to get a hold of now. Again, same thing like Puka. Okay, there's a knee. It's not serious, but let's make sure that we do everything we can for the next month so that even if it means shutting him down in the preseason, so what? We got to have him for week 1 of the regular season. And that's what I think the Chargers are going to wind up doing. Now, where it's not ideal with Justin Herbert is it's a new head coach, it's a new offensive coordinator, it's a new offensive lineman, it's some new receivers. They moved on from Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. You want to develop the chemistry with Justin Herbert. So there's a lot of changes, and in a perfect world, you'd have him out there going through all this. But in a perfect world, it was not perfect because he suffered this injury to his right foot, and they have to deal with it in the best way he can. So the best plan now is to make sure he's as healthy as he can be for the opener and for the rest of the season.
Shefty, did we call it plantar fasciitis before or no?
That would be a question for I've heard both. I don't know if there's a distinction between the two. I've heard plantar fascia. I've heard plantar fasciitis. I don't know which one it is. We know that they said plantar fascia, so we'll go with plantar fascia for right now.
Whoa,
Dr. Shefty.
What?
Fascia?
Fellatio.
Yeah.
He's getting plantar fellatio?
Plantar fellatio?
Guy's going to play better than ever, actually.
Okay.
It's a new study. He's got plantar fellatio. He's
got
a whole new situation.
You can ask Harbaugh this, actually.
Guy's going to be jacked up. Can't wait. If I appear to be a medical professional that knows anything about plantar fellatio, you are accurate. Could you imagine Jim Harbaugh all year doing the answer he gave?
So pumped.
Can't wait.
So pumped that he tested it. Now, before final question.
But the funny thing is, last week he came out, he goes, hey, I'm not going to be talking about injuries. Everybody is going to be trying to get over something. I think that was the phrase he used. Where he's trying to get over something.
Get through it.
And then like a day or two later, they just come out and they're like, Justin Herbert has plantar fascia. He's in a walking boot for 2 weeks. We're going to ramp him back up with the idea that he should be ready for week 1, which was a little bit more than getting through something. Yeah, he's getting through something, but we had details about him getting through whatever it was that he was getting through. So, again, I think it's the quarterback. It's the preseason. You can afford to do that, and let's just get this guy ready and get him to where he needs to be on opening day against the Raiders.
Harbaugh's a beauty. We're very pumped that he's back in the NFL, obviously, because him sticking to that index card that he wrote the answers for whenever he's asked any medical questions other than himself. If you ask about me, I'll be able to answer. So I hope somebody does take the opportunity to ask him about his shoulder from 1984, where he popped out of place. How's it feel? Just so Harbaugh can give us an update. Speaking of an update, how do you feel, Michigan man? Whoa.
You cheating son of a bitch.
Whoa, Shefty. How many texts did Sharon delete when he was texting you, Shefty?
I spoke to him about 20 minutes ago. All good.
Okay, your Michigan people are saying all good here because yesterday the internet was upside down, saying it's over. Obviously, people taking shots at Harbaugh, who we love. We'll have Thamel joining us here in about 8 minutes, and a lot of people don't think he's very, in this entire thing.
The Michigan fans, they love Pete, right?
Oh, he didn't put his big boy pants on. But what's happening now, I think Pete Thamel would potentially say, like, all I was saying was what was happening. Like, all I was telling you is that the NCAA was investigating. All I was telling you is there's a sign to it. Like, that's probably the insider world that you guys are in, breaking news and having to take, like, you guys take a lot of shots for shit that inevitably ends up being true. You know, like that is kind of how the game goes. Yeah. And I think Pete Thamel will probably feel a little bit of that. But you're saying, as a Michigan man, are you worried about what was kind of released or leaked?
As a Michigan man, as somebody who believes in Coach Moore, I'm not concerned. I'm not. Now, again, I don't know what Pete knows, but I know I spoke to the man himself here for a while and feel pretty good about what he said, and we'll see what happens here.
I love Coach Moore. I've got a chance to learn a lot about him over this past offseason.
Great guy.
Great. I love him. He's been incredibly kind to me. And Wink Martindale, obviously, new DC, like, we are very, we love Wink Martindale. So
I'll just say this. The defense looks good in practice.
Yeah, I would assume. Yeah, you got Wink Martindale dialing up
Wink
plays.
is fired up. Wink is all fired up about this defense.
Him disguising and just in college, these quarterbacks, the biggest adjustment for quarterbacks from college to the NFL is understanding what the hell is happening in front of you. And then Wink is just going to be.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it is.
That D-line, and they got the best corner probably to be in the draft next year with Will Johnson. We saw on field level, boots on the ground. Cannot wait.
But what will the punishments be? Will they be even allowed to win? Will they be even allowed to win? We'll talk to Pete Thamel and see what the NCAA.
Hey, you know what? I was in Ann Arbor before that infamous trip back, and I took my wife and my daughter to brunch, and I'm online at this place. It's packed. And I take a step back and I step on a guy's foot. I'm like, oh my, I fell over like a little bit. I'm like, turn around. And I turn like, whoa, you're Will Johnson, aren't you?
Come on, why yourself?
And I met him before. I stepped on Will's foot.
Yeah, trying to break his ankle. Plantar fascia. Yeah, trying to get him plantar fascia.
Plantar fascia. He's all ready to go for the season. He's a great kid. He's a great kid.
That's all. Yeah, they're very. I'll be excited to see what Pete Thamel says. All right, last question from Hammer. Todd Tone Diggs.
Quick clear up. Plantar fascia is the ligament. Plantar fasciitis is when the ligament is inflamed. Okay.
See that? That's outstanding.
Thank you. Just want to let you know that, Shefty.
The plantar fascia gets
both the same thing.
Plantar fascia is plantar fascia is the actual body part. Plantar fasciitis is the condition.
Oh, so he has plantar fasciitis on his plantar fascia.
Bingo.
Okay, so whenever they say plantar fascia, that is them trying to say it is happening with this ligament. You can guess what the fuck's going on.
We don't know if it's inflamed.
He's getting through it. Classic. This is exactly what he was talking about. Okay, so plantar fascia, body part.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Tone.
No problem. Shefty, on Friday, I planted a seed into my brain that Justin Fields should and will be the starter of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And tell you what, that seed didn't stop growing over the weekend, more that I read and watched. Russ still isn't doing a ton of 11-on-11 team activities. Is there a chance that Justin Fields does take the pole position in Pittsburgh?
Well, again, we got to see what Russell's like when he gets back. But Russell had that pole position, per Mike Tomlin. And let's see what happens when Russell gets back. But look, here's the thing. Justin Fields has gotten better and better every practice. And they love the guy. He's a natural leader. And he's got support. But I still think that Russell, when he gets back, had the idea to be the pole position. But when someone's not practicing, it gives somebody else the opportunity. And Justin Fields, by all accounts so far, has come in and taken advantage of that and impressed them with the way that he's played. And that's not surprising. The people in Chicago love the guy. And now he's getting a chance to impress people in Pittsburgh. And we'll see what Russell has to say about that when he gets back from this calf injury.
Artie Smith, seemingly beloved by everybody. George Pickens is singing his praises. I think Naj is as well. I assume Muth is saying good things.
Pat, who doesn't like somebody right now in training? Have we heard?
Yeah, publicly at least. Publicly as well, too. Yeah.
Lions and the Giants.
They haven't lost the game yet. Everything's going great. Like, everybody loves everybody right now, pretty much.
Yeah, and you have to publicly.
Except for the Lions and Giants fighting today. They don't like each other.
Hey, that happens. How do you guys normally cover that in your sphere of journalists? It's like fights. Because the way we led the show is like, that is a guaranteed fight. Just because as people that I've only been a part of one joint practice. It was with the Chicago Bears. And I think there was at least one big one each day that had happened. And as you're sitting on the sideline, if you're a person that is curious about stuff, which I happen to be, you actually look around and you go, how does this not end in a fight? Like, how does this not end in a fight? Especially with some of the drills that take place and what they want to see and the situations that people are put in. And then like, hey, there's only 4 open spots on the entire defense on this team, but on the other team, there's like potential 7 roster spots. So it's your first time being showcased in front of their front office and their scouting department. It's like, It's a guaranteed brawl, and the Giants and Lions are fighting. And if you're a Giants fan, I think you should be pumped because not only did Daniel Jones get in, but the Lions are known to be gritty, tough. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. And the Giants have had to answer the bell here. They've had to answer the bell, and I think they have. That's what we learn from these types of situations.
You know what? First of all, these things, they're a lot of great video. They're great for the aggregators because you play this video and say you want to watch, you want to see who's getting involved here, who's throwing punches. I don't know what it means. I know this, that it's been awfully hot on the East Coast, and I can't imagine being in pads and hitting people like for a couple hours. At the end, I think somebody's going to want to beat the crap out of somebody no matter what because it's really warm and you get really agitated really quickly. And so maybe some of that is a byproduct of the weather going on because it's bad out.
Schefter, no matter what your league does to the kickoff, there's always going to be physicality.
That's right.
No matter
There's
what.
always going to be physical. What are you hearing from coaches about the kickoff? Here's where I stand. I got asked about it a lot this weekend. Was very fortunate to be in Canton to watch Dwight Freeney go in. Saw a lot of people, caught up with a lot of people. Awesome. The rain, 2-hour delay. Not great.
Did you get to hang with Michael Jordan at all?
No. Which is a fucking bummer. I had Jay's on, obviously.
Yep.
So I was going in. We're smoking Stokes, sweet, MJ's. Yeah. Hey, these ones pretty cool. Pretty cool. Rain got ruined. Didn't know if you wanted to put me on a mailing list that potentially just gets new shoes every day. That'd be sweet to work that. I did not, but I saw basically all the Colts people from the past, and everybody that has been around football for a long time. And the people in Canton obviously are great hosts for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Walked around, obviously a lot of conversation, A lot of people asked me about the kickoff. What do you think about the new kickoff? What do you think? Is this football? Is this football? Is this football? A lot of that. And it's like, well, the kickoff is going to be extinct. So it's either no kickoff or this kickoff. So whenever you're talking about that, I love it. I love the new kickoff, which I think is how it should be viewed. But I think we're not really going to know what the hell this looks like until the regular season because some people are saying they're disguising it. But also, you don't have the 4-2, 4-3, 4-4 returners back there, which is going to make this look very different than what's going to look all preseason. What's the conversation you're hearing from your people, Shefty?
I got some texts from people the morning after that they didn't like it, right? And I'm like, it's one game. Let's wait and see what happens over the course of we're not judging on one game, but I think the one thing that special teams coaches noticed right away, coaches across the league, everything just happens faster. The holes close faster. The guys get to the returner faster. It's bam, bam. And if you miss that little window for anything, then the play's over. To your point, it's something. They're trying to keep the kickoff alive because they were trying to take that play out of the game. But it's bam, bam. It happens pretty quick. It's one game. I don't think we're ready to make any judgments yet. Let's see how the rest of the preseason plays out before we're casting any aspersions on whether this is a good or bad play right now.
And believe me, I'm not the most we need to see more. We need to see more guy about anything, okay? But I think not only preseason, let's wait until a couple weeks into the regular season to see how the actual dudes are doing it, so we can really figure it out. No, there's a lot. Hey, you're not the only one.
Hate it.
I walked around that Hall of Fame talking to a bunch of ex-players and seeing a bunch of ex-players.
Mickey Mouse.
This is happening under your watch, they're saying to me.
Jeez.
Because we're on a microphone.
Oh, yeah.
And loud. They're like, this is under your,
It's for the brand.
Yeah, it's happening to my, I had a lot.
So they don't like it. They don't like it?
Boy, I don't think I've talked to one football person that has been love what's going on there. I don't think. I mean, Braun Breaker's head almost exploded whenever he saw it. And he played at Kennesaw State, classic football guy, intercontinental champion for the WWE.
Right.
But on our show, Schefter, was the first time he found out, what's that? And they're changing the kickoff.
It's not football.
In his head, almost. That's how a lot of football people feel. But I had to explain to him, hey, it's either no kickoff or this kickoff. So let's all.
We like it.
I'm afraid of what Ty said last week. Could be 12 touchdowns week 1.
That's awesome.
These are good things.
I'm in for that.
These are good things. Less defense. We like that. Yeah.
More points.
Hey, we appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, senior NFL insider, friend of the program, Adam Schefter. Thank you. Yeah, everybody. Literally. What are they doing?
That's not football.
Well, how about how it looks? A lot of people. What do you got?
A lot of these.
You got 12 people on the field because it was windy? Yeah. Okay. We got 12 people on the field. All right. And then when are they going to get you? I learned from your video. When are they going to go? That's great. Have you fucking answered that?
Oh, wait, that holder was 12th guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just there.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Well, just in case,
Just in case.
Because that used to be, one of us, one of the
Ones.
L or R1, come hold it.
Yeah, safety, come hold. Close your eyes. Don't fucking lift your hand.
And it looks like practice, like you said, everybody that's been on the football field, the coach or player, like it's practice drill. So like,
literally everybody has seen this before, and that's Thursday, Friday, late in season, need to save legs, got it. Oh, now that's how we start the game. Okay, great. This is how we start. This is how we start the entire game. Lot of negative juice. A lot of negative juice coming from a lot of important football people that have played football. Yeah.
So you know what's next though? Guardians. If we're kicking the ball off like this, we've seen the Guardians with the logos on.
That can't happen.
The Guardians are next.
Could you imagine walking through the Hall of Fame with one of those helmets on, going, "This is the future"? 15 dudes with CT. We don't love it, but it's probably true. We'll walk up and go, "Let's see how good they are." Bang, 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 bang. It's like, yo, they'll take the punt next. They take the kickoff. I just immediately went into full on. Oh, you don't know, like the whole, because I was getting attacked.
I bet
I was getting verbally assaulted about what the kickoff has become. This is under your watch.
Yeah, like you made it.
This is under your watch. You're on TV every single day, talking sports. You have a relationship with the NFL, right? Yeah, you're a kickoff. Look what they're doing to your kickoff right in the middle of this. I'm like, have you watched the last couple of years though?
Yeah.
They're like, no, I refuse to watch. They changed. They changed what football's supposed to be. No run up, no run. So kickoff don't even play anymore. I'm like, you just gave the answer.
Yeah.
They've already. It wasn't under my watch a few years ago whenever they were making all these changes. But I think it's going to end up being good. I think it's going to be explosive. It's a lot better than no kickoff, which means probably no punt, which means no special teams. As we kind of go through the entire thing, let's keep this kickoff in here.
Yeah.
No matter how Mickey Mouse it looks with
it looks very Mickey Mouse.
And how are they going to start? I don't know how they're going to start on time. I don't know how any of that works. They'll figure it out. Joining us now is a man who has it all figured out and sometimes takes a lot of hate for it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us, the authority for college football, Pete Thamel. Pete, how you doing, Pete?
Gentlemen. Oh, never been better, Pat. How about you?
Oh, okay. So you're feeling good. All right. So let's talk a little bit about this. We'll dive right in. Obviously, last football season, during their national championship run, Michigan was in the middle of quite a large controversy. It involved a man named Connor
Stallion,
who was a rogue agent who was stealing signs, sneaking into other people's sidelines. It became this like fairy tale fiction story that was happening concurrently alongside one of the most dominant runs a college football team has ever had. You were obviously right in the middle of it. You were the straw that was stirring the entire drink, breaking the news, saying this, saying that. Harbaugh suspended. Did Pete Thamel do the suspension? No. Maybe, though, is kind of what it was. Now we hear about it for the first time since Coach Harbaugh has gone to the NFL. And Sharon Moore, who's the interim head coach, offense coordinator, who just coached his ass off towards the end of the season, and also in the Rose Bowl and in the national championship. He's involved. What are we hearing? What do we need to know from this leak? And what's going to happen with Michigan, Pete? And do you feel vindicated? That's a whole other situation.
So what happened was my colleague Dan Murphy and I obtained the notice of allegations draft to Michigan's NCAA case pertaining to Connor Stallions, as our friend Ty would like to say.
No, Ty Pete. Ty Pete.
That's right.
Ty Pete. Sorry about that, Ty Pete. Ty, I bet you're kind of giddy today, aren't you? A little bit, right?
A little bit excited. This is back in the news cycle.
Yeah,
Pete.
Good. Yeah. So.
Yeah. We're pumped, Pete. Whenever we quickly put some things together and we learned that you could be back on the show, couldn't make the call fast enough.
Yeah, bingo.
Couldn't make the call fast enough to you, pal. We're very appreciative. But with all this, what did we learn and what are we looking at here?
The notice of allegations draft, seven Michigan coaches, 6 former ones, and then current coach Sharon Moore have been implicated in this by the NCAA and are going to face punishment from the Committee on Infractions unless they negotiate resolution. Sharon Moore is obviously the headline of this, Pat. He's the current coach at Michigan. In the notice draft, they say he's a repeat violator because of violations in the COVID era recruiting sanctions that Michigan got, and he was obviously suspended for the opener last year against East Carolina. So he faces the draft says potential suspension and perhaps a show cause order. Now it is just a level 2 allegation. So I wouldn't expect any huge fireworks on that, but I think one of the more relevant, significant punishments that could come from this is some type of potential punishment for Sharon Moore.
So if Sharon Moore ends up getting punished, suspended, that's Michigan football now. Head coach just gets suspended. You'll be able to move forward. They literally were able to win a national championship while that was taking place last year. One of the most mentally tough runs I think I've ever seen in sports, and should potentially be talked about by what's going on in the locker room. But they do all the plays. All right. I mean, there are certainly things you can argue for the entirety. Is there any chance, from what you know right now, that Michigan's going to be suspended from postseason play or not being able to win the Big Ten or anything like that? Or are we just talking about, I don't want to say semantics or mumbo jumbo, but kind of mumbo jumbo with this entire thing?
Sure. So obviously talk to people who sort of trade in this NCAA infraction space in the last 24 hours, Pat. The one thing I'm certain of is that any accomplishments that they won will not be taken away. Those typically involve players who are not eligible. And obviously there's really no players involved in this. In this
champions forever. Congratulations, Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah. So that is as close to certain as you can possibly be when dealing with the NCAA. And then a postseason ban, and again, I don't know if this is the right place to launch into like the nuance of NCAA legalese, but it's extremely difficult to get a postseason ban. The conventional thought in the current political climate, is that Michigan would likely get some type of giant fine from this as their other really punitive penalty. From people I spoke to yesterday, I think it would shock the landscape of people who live in this infractions world every day if Michigan was given some type of postseason ban.
Okay. All right. That's the story right there, right? Yep. I think everything else kind of fine. That means boosters, they'll be able to pay for. They just built a $500 million facility or whatever. If there's a suspension to the coach, they've already gone through that. It won't be a vacated thing. Okay. So now it would just be about learning a little bit more about the story, which Ty Pete has a question for you.
Yeah, Pete. So if Sharon Moore was to be implicated in this whole ordeal, is there any chance that maybe we look at a guy like Connor Stallions and maybe see him, exonerated a tiny bit? Because obviously his good name was besmirched. I know he does have a Netflix documentary coming out, one of the Untolds, and I believe he is the main character, so we might get some additional information. But are they still planning on kind of just hanging this whole thing on Connor Stallions' head? Or is she potentially, going to have his name exonerated because she has kind of just been made a huge piece of shit in the world of college football?
Well, if you read the draft notice type,
which I did front to back, 2 times.
It really shows the breadth and the extent of the illicit in-person scouting scheme that Connor Stallions orchestrated. There were 58 instances of illegal off-campus scouting that the NCAA alleges. That includes 53 games and 13 different opponents. I found some of those details to be really interesting. We knew he did this a lot, but over a 3-year span, and it grew. It grew from 21 to 22. I thought it was really interesting, Pat, in 2022, they said that Michigan illegally off-campus scouted one program 7 different times. So they said people do 7 games of one of their opponents to steal the signals and bring them back to Stallions. And it was interesting. I've read way more of these notice of allegations over the years than you would ever want to do, and I found this one pretty interesting. That Connor Stallions really left a lot of breadcrumbs. They cite calendars. They cite hard drives with protected passwords. Yeah, he basically didn't do a very good job covering his tracks, and you could almost sense the giddiness of the NCAA investigators in the notice to say how much hard evidence they had. But if you remember too, Pat, the interesting thing about this case and what's made it one of the most unique ones I ever covered was the NCAA was basically brought all this information, which is why the Big Ten ended up suspending Jim Harbaugh for the final 3 games of the season. This wasn't hey, this might be happening, let's go find it. It was here is this intricate scheme, and here are all these details of this intricate scheme. They're playing Michigan State on Saturday. The Big Ten makes the unprecedented decision to call out one of their own members, let people know what they're doing in order to protect the integrity of the rest of the season. So it's not surprising that there are just so many different things. I mean, obviously, remember he used his own credit card. That was one of the big tells in all this. So it was interesting as an experienced reader of this to see how much detail there was about the scheme that Stallions.
All right, we'll see you next hour, Pete. We appreciate the hell out of you, pal. We'll see you then. Cheers.
Oh yeah, Pete.
In an abandoned warehouse, Arthur Isaac Fischel the world's AI authority, has summoned the Earth's most influential doofuses for an emergency meeting about the terrifying powers of artificial intelligence. Antonio Margherita, influencer from Italy. Vladimir Borobashnakovsky. Chad Speed. Jim. We catch up with them mid-dinner as Artie Fish tries his damnedest to get the influencer's attention.
Yes, that'll work. Thank you. Scram. Let's get down to brass tacks, boys. The real reason we're here. AI is it's a problem. It's gonna kill us all.
It's hard to take you serious with the way your face looks right now.
I mean, you look like a fucking asshole. What are you talking about?
Oh, the only thing artificial is those fucking balls you call balls.
You look absolutely absurd.
You guys don't understand. You're not listening to me, okay? I'm wearing this because AI can hear your thoughts. It can get into your brain, guys.
You ain't got no fucking brain.
Once again, struggling to take anything you say serious. My team told me I should come to this. You look like a joke.
Like an absolute jerk off.
Does this look like a joke? Huh? That's a nuclear bomb.
Nah, that's fake.
Just fucking like Batman puts marbles in plastic
you
case.
You need a guma, my friend.
You guys aren't listening. This right here, AI gave to me a nuclear freaking bomb. Told me the only way to save this screwed up world is to blow it up. This guy awake? Idiot.
Wake up, asswipe.
You wouldn't hit somebody with a
No, yeah, fuck.
No, don't you worry. This one is foolproof.
I doubt it.
I brought it here, boys. Not just for show.
What?
But because I'm gonna blow up the world right now!
Holy shit! That's Jack Carr!
Turns out, that was an actual nuclear bomb. Arthur Isaac Fischel was going to blow the entire world up, and Jack Carr saved us all. It was his actual first shot. And Artie Fish is actually dead. Forever. Thank the Lord that Jack Carr sensed trouble.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, August 5th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Welcome back. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. It is a glorious time to be alive in the world of sport, which we are chatting about, and we are just... Talks Tip was here at Boss Connor and at Ty Schmidt. How many days away from NFL football?
NFL football is 31 days. College football is 19 days. Yeah.
We made it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're here.
We did it.
You know, there's at the end of like a workout or a sprint, let's say there's like 5 minutes left worth of shit to do.
Yeah, you can see the time.
You think in your head though, I can do anything for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get through.
One song.
Like, that's how you get through.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you got 3 more 110s to run. It's like I can do 3 110s. That's all I got left. It's like when you think you can just do whatever to get to the finish line, that's a really empowering feeling. 19 days until college football?
Yeah, 19 days until Ireland.
We could do anything for 19 days.
Without a doubt.
We can get to college football to kick that thing off between Georgia Tech and Florida State, which should be an absolute banger in front of the lads of Ireland. We'll be lucky to be there. We cannot wait to get there. Also, breaking news, our show will be live in Dublin on Friday. Whoa! On Friday. We'll have more information on that tomorrow or Wednesday. We will be live in Dublin on Friday, the day before week 0 of college football season kicks off for Florida State and Georgia Tech to battle in Dublin. We cannot wait to get over there. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler is here. Training camps are happening. 20-plus days away from NFL football, 19 days away from college football. How do you think the boys are feeling? Do you think guys are in football shape at this point now, this deep into training camp and everything?
Absolutely. Most of the guys, they're pros. They're pros away from the building, and if they're not in shape, they got in shape pretty quick once you get back in the building. So I'm excited. Obviously, every year is a new team, regardless of how many people come back. Every year is a new team. You got new coach, you got new players, you got new systems. I cannot wait to see how it all plays out. We always have it all mapped out. Okay, these guys are going to win the division. These guys are going to win the conferences, and then it plays out a different way outside of the Chiefs. So I'm excited to see how this year plays out.
Yeah, these guys are going to suck. These guys are going to be great. You saying outside of the Chiefs is hilarious because they were having a good middle of training camp.
Just jacking around.
Middle of training camp, they're at Morgan Wallen's concert.
Yep.
Okay. With sources telling me that number 7 is Morgan Wallen's number.
Okay.
So, anytime there's a chance to wear number 7, he is going to wear number 7. That's it's a custom jersey, too. It's like his number, sports growing up.
His name.
He's always. Now, you're going to have to ask him if he knew what all was going to happen and how it goes. That's on him to answer, but I think the internet immediately goes, bah, 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 bah. Yeah. And then Travis Kelce's there living his life, having a good, Patrick Mahomes having a good time, Stone Cold Chris Jones is there. And that's just the thing about this team. It looks like they're all closer than they've ever been. Remember, Chris Jones, there was a little bit of shit going on.
Oh, yeah.
Their team is closer. They're more mature. They got more weapons. And somehow they're possibly on the precipice of doing something that has never been done before, which is 3 straight Lombardis. They shouldn't be this relaxed, this comfortable. No. How about a practice, Patrick Mahomes? We're literally doing the what's it called when you get drunk and he's
dizzy bat?
They're doing the dizzy bat, the Louisville Chugger. They're doing a Louisville Chugger in practice. You never know when you're gonna beat this warrior, Pat. He's blindfolded, he's spinning. No, that's the other way. That's the other way. Other teams are doing everything they can to catch this team. What are the Chiefs doing? I see 4 nets. What hole do you want me? We're going to have to, yep, that's where it's at, right there. Aiming completely off the net, almost strike.
Yep.
Close.
Almost throws a full strike. Now, I will say, as a Louisville Chugger extraordinaire, where I have never not made contact with beer cans.
Sure.
After doing it, I have fallen over afterwards and then just passed out.
Of course. That's going to happen.
For 7-8 hours.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Patrick Mahomes, he went on to do something else afterwards. This guy's a superhero. He's a Superman. They seemingly have it figured out more so than they've ever been before, and they're having more fun. And they're having more fun.
He's got another chip too. I don't know if you saw the top 100, the top 10, top 5. We probably all expected a certain person to be number 1. I'm glad who was number 1. That was our offseason Super Bowl, but I'm sure he'll be thinking about that all season long where he was ranked.
Tyreek Hill, number 1 player in the NFL, voted on by the players. Lamar Jackson, number 2 player in the NFL. Christian McCaffrey just got a new deal. Same with Tyreek Hill. If you're up there in the top 10, I assume you're asking your agent. Yeah, we could probably go get some more money right now. Anybody will take. And then number 4 player on earth in football right now, Patrick Mahomes. It's the best. It's the absolute best because obviously Patrick Mahomes will say publicly that it doesn't matter and he's honored to be up there and yada, yada, yada. But behind closed doors, whenever he's drinking a couple Coors Lattes and his dad's around and his friends are around, and we've seen this from quarterback this series, they're going to say, oh, you're 4th best guy. Oh, okay, yeah, back-to-back Super Bowls, able to do things nobody else able to do. Last year had to win in a completely different fashion. You've only continued to evolve, only continued to get better. You've been being compared to Tom Brady since you're like 24 years old. You're the 4. Okay. Wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. That, by the way, came to yours. Too cold to operate, but what'd you do? Yeah, it's like 4. Like they are just throwing that at him.
Stoking.
And when you're at the top of the mountain, you can find something like that to happen. boy, it's going to get even more dangerous. This is absurd where they're at, how they're at, and everything that's happening around them. I don't like it. Not one bit. But I am happy for them. Congratulations to the Chiefs and the Chiefs Kingdom. Who gets to celebrate all this shit.
Absolutely. This is like the reverse Pro Bowl situation that you talk about, right? Where like guys get it, and it's just like, okay, I know this guy. I'll vote him in. Like a couple people just out of spite were like, you know what? Let's rate Mahomes like the 97th best player in the NFL. Like he had probably a bunch of ones, and then a couple people were like, yeah, you know what?
100.
Yeah, I'm gonna name him 100 or 98, and then that'll really skew the average, and he's not gonna be because isn't it just universal at this point? Like he is the best player in the NFL. Period.
Jamar Chase. He wouldn't say his name in his interview.
There's the
That's
guy.
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
What?
Jamar Chase actually, when they brought up Patrick Mahomes, he's like, I'm not saying him. Like, I'm not saying his name. Joe Burrow's my quarterback. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. Like, he refused to even say Patrick Mahomes.
I saw there was people that are upset that Aaron Rodgers made the top 100 list of last year's season, and he only played four snaps.
That's fair.
But definitely fair. But I think people are also judging the American flag run.
That was good. That was like a couple top 10 moments.
Yeah, that's like at least 15 plays.
Yep.
I mean, that was like the number one play of the year.
Yeah, bingo. So
on 9/11.
Yeah, in
New York,
the shadows of New York City.
Well,
I mean,
good point.
absolutely have to have that. But all these things are all bullshit.
Yeah,
best rehab too, just for Rodgers. I mean, he best rehabber in the 2024 NFL season.
New Achilles surgery. Very advanced.
Think about that.
That was a good play.
It was.
They also showed videos of him balancing one-legged to all the teams around the NFL before they did this vote. They said, "Look, this is what he's able to do.
How you like
ain't
that?
able to do
Check
that.
this out.
You're not able to do that."
He was ready to come back if they were in position week 18. So.
Well, week 17, I think, actually. Thanks. He was going to play a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, we wouldn't give away the date, but it was certainly possible. And then there was 0% chance they're going to make the playoffs. And, well, I ain't going to risk this.
No
point.
Top 100 player, though. That's a lot of respect.
Yeah.
Or that's people not paying attention. You know, and that is potentially what people need to remind Patrick Mahomes, especially if he's playing against your team. Like, if he's playing the Colts again, which we have a pretty good record against him, I'm going to let him know, like, hey, people they're joshing with you. Whatever, they're not. We think you're the best here. Wait until we cheer for you when you come out. We want you to be great. Because he's the type of guy that whenever he gets, it does a switch flips.
Oh, yeah.
Like that quarterback series taught us a lot about Patrick Mahomes and the type of person he is. You talk shit to him, the
Crosby moment.
Hey, let's not wake him up. He is a let's not wake him up guy. And feels like the NFL is continuing to do as such somehow. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is the man who's always awake, never sleeps. All he does is work out. That's why he is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner. He's not an Olympic gold medalist, though.
No.
Former president of Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk. AJ, how about the number 4th best player in the NFL, voted on by the players, Patrick Mahomes, potentially having another thing to build a little bit of spite up about? And then how about how relaxed they are? Middle of training camp, we're out at the Morning Wallen concert, we're having a good old time, we're doing our thing. And I saw John Gruden walking around practice. I mean, that team is somehow more relaxed, more comfortable, and more confident than they've ever been, as they should be, but it's not normally this way. Normally things get tight. People get tight when they're at this point because all eyes are on them, pressure's on them. We're going to do some Louisville chugging at the end of the practice. It's wild, AJ. It's truly wild.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really seen this done at an NFL practice, and I think they should implement this at the combine probably. Don't you think you could grade guys each year? Like, if they did this in college and you could compare Mahomes' little drunk football throw to other people's drunk football throw, would be another way to evaluate these players and kind of predict their future.
What's the name of that independent brain person that's watching games and stuff?
Will Smith.
The Unk.
Yeah, the Unk.
The Unk, the unaffiliated neurological consultant.
Yes.
Something like that. The Unk. Imagine the Unk watching his practice going, now, why are you guys doing that? Well, if he feels dazed and he needs to be able to complete a pass, and the Unk's like, if he's dazed, he's not on field. It's like, well, we'll see if you catch him. Like, imagine him. Imagine him being out and then getting up and then doing the play.
That would be like, what if you did practice this? Hey, we're going to practice getting dinged up pretty hard, receiving the call in my speaker from my coach, and executing the play.
Are you all right, Pat? Pukes. In the huddle. Calls the play, gets under center, and then he goes back to his training. If I remember right, I got to aim way left here. All right. Let go, whatever his thing is. And then Kelsey's storming down the middle. He's just staring this way. Boom, touchdown.
No-look pass from Patrick Mahomes.
And then in the interview after, he goes, if we wouldn't have done that Louisville chugger practice, I would have never been able to complete that pass. And then he got some doctor going, you should not be puking and stumbling around the field and playing anymore in 2024. Wild time, they're just dicking off.
Yeah. Just having fun.
There's dicking off. There was another play, fourth throwbacks?
Hey, they're messing with people there, don't you think? They're kind of just messing. Hey, like every defensive coordinator we're going to play this year, like there's going to be a guy week 15 that's going to pull this play up from camp. Like, hey, they always have this, guys. Remember, this is something we got to work on.
That number one is all by himself a lot in these practices that I'm watching.
A lot.
That number one is all by himself. Fastest guy in the history of the combine is somehow on what team? The Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Of course.
Sweet.
Of course.
It's fun.
Second fastest guy is now ridiculously paid down in Miami. He was on team as well. Speaking of fast guys, joining us, ladies and gentlemen, from France, covering basketball for ESPN, originally from Ohio, hailing from Omaha, Nebraska, former three-guard for LeBron James' high school basketball team, Brian Windhorst.
Yeah, Windy.
I'm the best three-guard Akron, Ohio has ever produced.
Amen.
Mr. Hawk.
Sir.
Windy. Good to see you, Windy. Good to see you with your squad, too, back in the day.
Yeah, and the way you run up and down that court, people said, Windy's a beast, Windy's a dog, Windy's going to be the greatest basketball journalist of all time.
That's right.
And stats you've been putting up over in France are certainly remarkable. Are you still driving an hour and a half facing backwards every single day, or how has the Olympic coverage continue to go? I know our women's 3-on-3 semifinal just happened.
Yeah,
we got beat.
They lost by 2.
That's some weird basketball, that 3-on-3. I respect them trying to do it, but I can't get with it.
We have a league, Wendy. We have the big three. We have a 3-on-3 league. Like we have that. They play it professionally, full time.
I know.
Let's send them. Over there. I don't know what we got going on. We got our asses beat there, but the ladies make it to the semis, which means they have a bronze medal match coming up, which we're going to win. So we're going to medal.
Against Canada, too.
3 o'clock today.
Okay, let's beat them. Anyways, Wendy, 2 hours you've been driving. How has it been? The vibe's seemingly still immaculate. The men's team has a game tomorrow, quarterfinals at 3:30. How are we feeling? How do we feel about the team and the vibes of France?
We're over. The trips to Lille are over. That's 2 hours. Made the trip 7 times back and forth. I think the Americans made it 6 times total. They went back and forth 3 times. But now we're in Paris. It's all going to be in Paris tomorrow at Bercy Arena. And they're in a good place right now, guys. Now, look, this is now single elimination for the gold. They've played 3 games in 14 days. Now they got to win 3 in 5. It's a lot. The competition's a lot tougher. We got 13 MVP trophies represented in this final 8. Now, most of them are on the American team, but still, you got some 13 MVP trophies. You got 11 of the 15 players from the All-NBA team still here. You got some beasts out here. You got the Rookie of the Year, Victor Wembanyama. You got the Defensive Player, the Rudy Gobert. So this last 3 is going to be tough, but they're in a good spot. They got 10 guys averaging 7 points. They got all of them. They all shoot between 6 and 10 a game. Nobody gets more than 10 shots a game. Nobody gets less than 6. They all play between 18 and 22 minutes, those 10 guys. And they're like, in talking to them, they're like, look, someday KD might have a great game. Someday Anthony Edwards might have a good game. Maybe it's going to be Steph Curry's turn next. Maybe it'll be LeBron. They're chill. They're totally cool with their roles. They're totally cool with the way it's playing. They're all in a good place. Now, look, it's single elimination. They have a bad quarter, and all of a sudden you're in trouble. But I honestly think that they're in a really good place, and they're playing really well.
Team on me.
Yeah.
Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Obviously, things are going well. Easy to be a team. I think we'll be excited to see whenever some adversity strikes, like in the pre-Olympic stuff. But everybody setting their ego aside for the betterment of the team is a beautiful thing and a depiction of the Olympics. Speaking of the Olympics, Scotty Scheffler said that whenever he went and watched the gymnastics teams on the top of the podium the night before or something like that, he got emotional because of their story and what they were doing, who they were representing. Then he wins. He gets on top of the podium. He starts getting choked up. I know that the basketball team has been traveling around watching other sports. Is there a sense of like Olympic pride almost amongst the men's basketball team with the rest of the Olympians as well?
This is there's so many incredible athletes doing their thing here. So yesterday, Sunday, you had Novak Djokovic winning at Roland Garros. He gets the gold medal. He'd done everything in his career except for winning the gold. He wins the gold. Then across town, you got Noah Lyles winning one of the most epic races of our lifetime. Okay. Then, outside of town, you got Scotty Scheffler with a cool 29. How about a 29 on the back nine on a Sunday?
Course record.
Gold.
Course record.
29.
Yeah.
John Rahm shot 39. Scotty Scheffler shot 29. That's how you get it done, okay?
That's how we do.
You got Simone Biles, on Saturday night getting it done. The U.S. Guys had gone to see her do her thing. And then you got LeBron, Steph, Durant, what I call the first ballot trio, getting ready to do their thing. By the way, the women's team, it's awesome to see them do their thing. Like, to see all these athletes, a lot of them American, like all dominating, all in the same city. And that's one of the things that USA wanted. It was a pain to go back and forth between here and Lille. Even though Lille is a nice little town, I liked being there. They had to take trains, then the trains got firebombed at one point, and they had to take buses. And it was a pain, but they wanted the Americans to be able to go to the other American events. So LeBron went to beach volleyball, Durant went to 3-on-3 basketball, Steph went to see indoor volleyball. They were out. Durant went to see, and a bunch of guys went to see Simone Biles do her thing.
Ping pong,
I think some guys
table tennis.
Oh yeah, Ann Edwards was all about ping pong. So they wanted to make sure they were in Paris to do that, and so it's kind of a cool thing to have all these athletes, especially all these great Americans, all in one town, every 2 hours. Doing
You're welcome, France. Some great Americans coming over again. Yeah, you're welcome. That is a fantastic thing for the good of sport too. Because with how big this event, the Olympics, is supposed to be in the eyes of everybody, like us buying in and sending all of our studs and stars over there is a massive ordeal for the future of the Olympics and the future of sports and growing games and sports in other places around the world who maybe haven't seen. Like, for instance, I hope some of our athletes that went over there saw handball and they think to themselves, okay. Hey, quick question before AJ has one and the boys have one for you. Could Kevin Durant play for the men's national team and also do the 3-on-3 on his side?
Kevin Durant would be the greatest 3-on-3 player ever because you got to rebound.
Him, Kyrie.
Yeah,
well, Kyrie. First off, 3-on-3 is hard. I don't like the game, but 3-on-3 is hard because there's a 12-second shot clock, and then they defend you taking the ball back. It's very exhausting. But Kevin Durant and Kyrie, forget about it.
Well, could they play both? I wonder. Is that possible?
They should.
No, I don't think you could. To be honest with you, I don't think they could play both because 3-on-3 is so exhausting. Okay, I know that they're only 10-minute games, but they got to play
Tyrese and Embiid.
Whoa.
Okay?
Send them over.
Whoever the bottom three on our roster are, congrats. You get to play full game of another sport, and we're gonna get 2 golds. We're just brainstorming because we can't have what happened this year ever happen again.
Correct.
Well, we had bad luck because Jimmer tore his adductor muscle. So then they had to play with only 3. You only got 4 guys on the team, and you only got 1 sub. And Jimmer tore his adductor. He's our best 3-on-3 guy, and that was bad luck.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
But
so
seriously though, think about the guys that didn't come over, like Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brown. There are so many. Luka Garza. Kyrie.
Kyrie in that thing would be so awesome because we would be squaring off against somebody, and let's say there's somebody that is very gettable. So Kyrie just literally,
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! All 3 of them. I assume there'd be a highlight.
Either does Kyrie ever get
tired? Let me
tired?
tell you why Kyrie would be amazing.
He always just kind of jogs around. Oh my God! It'd
because
be
even after you even after there's a made basket, you got to take the ball back, and the team can defend you taking the ball back. You get the rebound, and they get to defend you as you go to the take back line. If you had Kyrie, he could work his dribble magic, leaving and coming back. He could just dribble through everybody nonstop. Plus, all of his layup package, he might be the greatest. And of course, the 2-point shot. I don't know why every shot is not taken in that sport.
I wonder,
it's not a 2-pointer.
I wonder if the boys feel like it's not good enough for them to go do.
Yeah, you have to step down.
So we need to be loud about how we need to win.
No, seriously, you know why? If you want real talk about it, I'll tell you why. Because FIBA doesn't really want the U.S. to do good at 3-on-3. They really want that to be for countries that can't field 5-on-5 teams.
Is that right?
And so they do all these things. They have all these different layers and layers and layers of things you have to do to qualify. I don't just mean the team. I'm talking about no play. Like Kyrie can't just show up and play. The only way you can play is if you play in 15 qualifying events. It's not 15. I'm just coming up with that number.
Massive commitment to make the team to get there.
What you're talking about is what they don't want. They don't want guys from America.
Oh, they're fucking us. Got it. FIBA's fucking us.
Makes sense. Even more reason for us to go do it. They got to figure that out then.
Bingo. Go ahead, AJ. I didn't know that was of course, FIBA.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make much sense, Wendy, but I guess
hate
that's
us too.
Because honestly, Caitlin Clark, that was something that Caitlin Clark could have done. Now, she may not have wanted to do it, but if Caitlin Clark played, can you imagine what that would have been like? But there was 15 hoops that she would have had to jump through, because FIBA doesn't care about ratings. They just care about growing the game and elsewhere outside the U.S. So that's just not their priority.
That is admirable. We do appreciate that, but the Olympics, we're trying to find the best. Okay, let's find the best in this entire thing. Anyways, go ahead, AJ. Sorry about that. FIBA doesn't want us to win. Yeah, is FIBA trying to hold us back? Why is FIBA doing this?
We know.
You know what the F stands for?
What?
Fuck over America.
Bingo.
International Basketball Association.
Bingo.
Okay.
One word.
Wow. That gets me seeked up a little bit.
You should.
We're supposed to win that thing. We got Jimmer Fredette out there. This guy's got 17 appointments he's got to make before he can even represent our team. He's driving around.
Something like that.
He's riding a bicycle around. He's tearing his adductor all of a sudden trying to get to all these appointments. That's unbelievable.
I love Jimmer.
Why is FIBA running it? Why are they the ones that run it? Oh, because
they're the international committee. I'm telling you, FIBA is different. You know how David
is Adam Silver not sitting on the board at FIBA?
Why doesn't he play?
Mark Tatum is on the board.
We do. Why isn't Adam Silver on our 3-on-3 team?
Just hook all day.
You know how David Stern once said that the ideal matchup for the NBA in the playoffs was the Lakers against the Lakers, and nobody says it, on the record, but really they want it would be great for the NFL if the Cowboys, were in the Super Bowl, right? Let's just be honest.
Patriots.
FIBA is the exact opposite. If the U.S. gets knocked off, they won't say it publicly, but under the table, they'll be pumping their fist. Not because they hate the U.S., but because they want it to be more of an international game and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into this international basketball. It's just everything is just different here. For example.
Yeah.
You can't buy merch here. I don't get it. The merch.
What am I here for?
They're not selling foam fingers?
You don't have a single mug?
You ain't. There ain't a foam finger in all of freaking France.
Not even a pen?
Forget about that.
What about a bottle? A sports bottle?
Where is it? Where do we get it then?
What about glasses? There's fun glasses.
Yeah, with the mustache and
the merch situation here it's terrible. It's terrible.
That's bullshit.
They don't care about it. I don't get it. But they want a certain environment.
I want a fanny pack. Give me a fucking fanny pack.
Put all their eggs in the opening ceremony.
Yeah, well, they need to get money back potentially from that time.
I don't know.
It took over the whole city. I don't know if you saw it, the big one,
Oh yeah, with the fire.
Yeah. Why didn't they have Gaga on there? Gaga is.
We talked about that.
Yeah, you're right. We'll get that. Yeah. Anyways, sorry about the merch setup, but with FIBA not wanting America to win, I guess what we saw in another game could potentially. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Wendy, how high is the level of concern that FIBA is just going to screw us over, that the refs are going to screw us over? We saw what happened between France and Japan earlier in the tournament with that little phantom, and 1 3-point call. So with you saying that, hey, they'd love if we got beat, how high are your antennas on? Okay, there's a good chance.
It's not that FIBA.
Well, you just said it,
Wendy.
though.
Well, it's not that FIBA wants the U.S. to lose. I think they just like it. They like the idea of there being better competition. They like the idea of the American women not winning their 8th straight gold and the U.S. winning their 5th straight men's gold. I think they just
FIBA
want
hates greatness.
better
Got it.
competition.
FIBA hates greatness. Got it. That's all you need to say.
Classic Europe.
That's all you need to say. Work hard, get better, become the best, can't win. Don't like it.
They are going to screw us over, though. This Brazil game's going to be closer than for no reason at all.
Well, we know there's a lot of reasons.
Well,
I'm just learning them from Wendy.
Yeah, LeBron's going to have 3 fouls within the first 2 minutes of the game.
I actually think the officiating has been pretty good, pretty fair so far. I know that South Sudan freaked out.
They did.
Wendy's got.
They thought they got screwed.
Right
I actually didn't see that game because I was working the post game. of the U.S. game, so I don't know what happened there, and I know that happened. But in the games that I've watched, I think the officiating generally has been okay.
All right. I hope that's the case. Let's get back to Team USA here. Wendy, are you okay? Blink twice. Everything,
You all right over there?
all right? Yeah, okay. Got it. I'm learning a lot here.
I still got to go to 3 more games.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Get in the building. Get in the building, Wendy. We need your coverage. We need to. This is journalism here. Speaking of journalism, go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, speaking of, I know I heard Steve Kerr make a quote about Kevin Durant not starting. He wasn't there from day one, but he's been playing great. And obviously the competition will continue to get tougher. You've been giving us the lineups, basically, in the previews of the upcoming teams. Brazil coming up, whoever else is coming up after that. Any anticipation that Kevin Durant cracks that starting lineup? And who will be the starting lineup? Because obviously you know.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna, but I mean, if things change, they'll change it up. I mean, they've changed the starting lineup all 3 games. They've had a different leading scorer all 3 games. They've had a different starting lineup. That different guy has sat out all 3 games, although Drew Holiday sat the last one because of his ankle. I think they're just going to kind of try to work it game to game. Like, the one thing I'll be interested, like, now Serbia, so they play Brazil. Serbia plays Australia, potential rematch with Serbia in the next round. Last time the U.S. played Serbia, Steve Kerr didn't use Jason Tatum. Would he use him this time? My guess is yes. But Durant, here's what's going on. Steve Kerr is prioritizing defense over everything. And it's interesting because there's been some controversy over here with the French team. It hasn't probably gotten to America because it's all the trash talk has been in French. But like Evan Fournier, who plays for the Pistons now, was playing for the Knicks last year. He ripped his coach after the French lost the other day. And he's like, we got to focus more on offense. Basically, the translation isn't perfect. He said, attack is more important than, our defense is our attack, basically. Our best defense is our offense. And the coach snapped back at him and was like, he's got to answer for that and all this stuff. And then the coach said that Victor Wembanyama is holding the ball too much, even though he's having great numbers. So the French are arguing.
This is so French.
Turning on themselves.
Isn't this the most? This is so French.
Love it.
Oh, I love it.
The French have been accused of having issues with their defense in the past. I will say that. Hey, I'm just in Paris. Everything is great in Paris.
No, this is boots on the ground, Wendy. This is what we need to hear. Wemby's getting shots called at him by the coach.
Yep.
Wemby could have won every single award last year from some NBA players in the NBA. But over there, to another Frenchman, pal. Okay, you just learned how to move the ball. How about in that Serbian game with the United States? I saw Joker want to do a different plan than what the coach was doing. The coach was calling for full court press pretty much, and Joker was like, no, we need to get back. And then lo and behold, the United States gets ball and shakes, shimmy, foul. All right, there's another foul, and we're shooting. And they put Joker, who doesn't ever give anything, he kind of does one of these, and then the coach is like telling him, I didn't even think about potential relations between the best basketball players from their country ever, and then the people from their country that are coaching the team. There's probably a little bit of...
There's so much going on. Pat, there's so much going on here that is wild. Jokic plays a bigger role for the Nuggets than he does for Serbia, which I think is crazy.
They fucking Malone.
Ridiculous.
He's only playing 27 minutes a game, and they sort their coach is old school.
Yeah, so that was
Svetlana Pesic. And he wants to run a system. The Serbian way is to run the system, and they run their system, even though it's better off with Jokic having the ball 98% of the time. They run their system because that's the Serbian way. And Jokic doesn't talk to the media over here. He hasn't talked to the Serbian media since 2016 or something.
So awesome. He doesn't talk to our media either, Serbia.
No, he doesn't talk to our media either over here. He's nice about it. He goes, thank you, but no. We don't really know how he's thinking, but if anything, but I also think that Serbia's might be doing some really elaborate rope-a-dope because I think they're holding stuff back that they're trying not to show the U.S.
Oh, the coach
that
is
if they
too
play
smart.
them again, that they're going to pull some stuff out because there's wild stuff that goes on in these games, man.
He's too good of a coach. For Jokic doesn't understand.
Right.
Jokic, listen, I'm trying to explain to you. Okay, let me explain how this goes. We don't show them shit. You don't play at all. They think these itches are bad at basketball. We're not. Then whenever we get in there, you're going to play more because you're our best player by far.
Genius.
So interesting to think about the dynamic because coach probably empowered, right, by whoever.
For sure.
Hey, this is your team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
This is your team.
Country.
This is your team. This is our country. Joker needs to fall in line, just like everybody.
But so Jokic, his plus minus when they played the U.S. was 0. He sat for 7 minutes, I think, and the U.S. outscored him 29-3 when he was on the bench.
Yep.
So if I'm playing the U.S. again, and Serbia's got to beat Australia, it's not guaranteed. The U.S. got to beat Brazil. Jokic ain't coming out of the game. Jokic ain't coming out of the game, and he's had the ball every single possession. But, that has not been the Serbian way.
Thinking about, and we're at a very 30,000-foot view here, so we don't. But just potential stereotypes of coaches, people, things, areas. We talk about Team USA having to put their egos aside. Mm-hmm. Americans known for being arrogant, right? That's kind of what we're.
Sure.
That's literally what we're known for. So the big thing with our team is got to be able to put the egos aside, see if they can buy in. I wonder what they're saying about other teams. Hey, if the Serbians are able to put down their bureaucracy a little bit and the way they are so authoritarian, they could potentially win this game. I wonder what their fans are saying or people say about those teams as we're talking about it. That's kind of something that's kind of
the French. If these guys won't turn on each other, we might have a chance at silver this year.
Yeah, are the French people that are having a cafe or whatever, no deodorant, just smelling.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? I assume?
Yeah, so when you're on social media over here, the coach's name is trending and you can go see it and they're running memes making fun of their coach. It goes on.
Yeah,
it goes
that's
on
awesome. That's good to hear. That's the Olympics,
That's
man.
right. Uh-huh.
That's the Olympics. Speaking of the Olympics, you got a lot of greats around each other for the first time. Connor's got a question for you.
Yeah, Wendy, I saw you say on your podcast that a possible super team coming from this Olympics would be Ant and KD possibly linking up in Minnesota. Is that still the case, you think? Or
Those were the exact words I said, Connor. Thank you for accurately quoting.
Of course. Hey, anytime, Wendy. I listen to what you say like NBA gospel. But is that the only one?
We're not the only ones that listen to what you say on this show either, by the way.
Yeah,
There'll be a question about that coming up.
Yeah. So anyway, Durant's under contract for a long time with Phoenix. I'm just saying, the Durant Ant relationship is amazing to watch, and Ant trails him around like he's his big brother. He sits next to him on the bus. He shoots next to him before the games. And Ant is having so much fun playing with KD and LeBron. And Ant had a great quote yesterday. He said, "I told LeBron, if you've got the ball and you don't think that you've got a shot, please give it to me and I'll find one."
Love it.
I just love that because that's how he plays. And so, yeah, but this is the thing about Ant. Ant trash talks Durant the whole day. He's trash talking him in practice. I got to believe they're trash talking when they're hanging out. So there's no doubt there's a connection there. And Ant loves him because he went to see him play in some pro league, summer ball when he was a kid in Atlanta. And I think Durant is 14 or 15 years older than Ant. It's a wild, big brother, little brother thing. But those two guys are definitely bonding. And Durant just loves it. Durant just enjoys it. He just sort of smiles at him because, Durant is really subdued. And Ant is really high energy. So, but it's been so much fun to just watch the two of them interact with each other. And every time Ant talks to us, he talks about how much fun he's having.
That's awesome.
And that is such a cool thing.
Yeah, that's great to hear. That's great to watch. And I'm excited to see what he carries into next year at the NBA because he got introduced to the world seemingly through the playoffs this past year. He's going to be the next one out there. And I think for Kevin Durant, it's been very open, right, that Ant looks up to Kevin Durant, has throughout his entire thing. So Kevin Durant knows there's a lot of respect, public respect that has come from Ant. So I assume that Kevin Durant is enjoying learning about Anthony Edwards as well. But if you're Anthony, I got to do with Adam Vinatieri. Let me just see what the hell this guy does, right? I've obviously looked up to this guy. Let's see what his day-to-day is so that I can learn from him. That's not a bad thing to do. And the OG, Vinatieri in my particular case, and Kevin Durant appreciate that. I think they appreciate that somebody isn't trying to, kill them more so than, hey, I'm trying to learn.
He actually said that.
I'm trying to
Durant
learn
was
from you.
It's actually, you're so right, because he actually said that. He goes, it's kind of cool when guys who you respect look so much up to you.
Yeah.
And he actually made that exact comment the other day.
Yeah, and you want to like teach. Like I think they want to teach too. Like they don't want to teach everybody. Like there's not a like you got to earn that type of thing. But like the appreciation, respect level, it's one where I think Vinatieri and I are still tight. We saw him obviously this weekend, but it was very obvious. And I'm trying to learn all the shit. Hey, I'm trying to learn all your shit. You're the greatest of all time. I want to learn all your shit. And it's like he could have been an asshole about that, or could have been cool about it and was very cool about it, and we're best friends to this day, which I assume will still happen between Durant and Ant as they move forward.
Yeah, there was that clip from the playoffs earlier this year when Minnesota was playing Phoenix and Ant was kind of going at him and talking a bunch of shit, and you could see Durant just smiling like ear to ear, which obviously typically in games, like if a guy's getting at him and talking shit and doing that to him, like he's not reacting that way, but he, you could see it in real time. Like,
that's beautiful.
He respects this dude.
That's beautiful. Hey, way to go, boys.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd be excited to see how the contracts work. Those two on a team all season would be fun to watch.
Dangerous.
Yeah, that would be very fun to watch.
Steph and LeBron.
Yeah, they've been having a good time.
They've been talking about it all for a few years now. I love to play with this guy. So, Steph, got a couple more years to go to state?
Allegedly almost happened, right? Wasn't there a conversation about LeBron getting traded? Never mind. That's not for now. Go ahead, AJ. Go ahead.
Wendy, we're talking about people having fun, Ant having fun there. Do you think Steve Kerr and his staff is having a good time coaching? It seems like it'd be a very stressful situation trying to get everybody in, trying to manage everything. How do you think he's kind of progressed throughout the Olympics of like, hey, how I sub people, what I do in game, and how do you think it kind of goes moving forward?
Not really. It's really a thankless job because you are expected to win and win big, and he's had his tactics really questioned, and like they've won every game, and they've really developed a nice chemistry, and they've developed a nice game plan. And look, when you're the head coach of Team USA, you're one loss away from infamy, and he knows that. He's been the assistant coach on some teams. He's been involved with high level basketball for his whole life, and I do think he's avoided some of the talk from back home, but he's of course aware that people were all over him for who he played and didn't play. And, he kind of gave a little sermon the other day, and it really didn't get seen because at the Olympics, the French have decided that there shall be no press conferences before the medal games. And so there's no place for him to sit on a dais. So he just kind of comes into the corner of a room and we talk to him, and you're not allowed to play the audio, and you're not allowed to play the video. You're not even allowed to record it. Not allowed to record the video. You can record the audio, but you can't play it. And he gave like this speech about how like this is not the NBA. This is not about having a soap opera. This is not about like who's upset with their playing time in March. This is about 2 weeks in the summer where nobody is on a team, nobody's worried about their contract, nobody's going to get traded. And he's like, I got to put out the best team that I think can win each individual game. And he kept saying, like, stop thinking about this like the NBA, which he's basically saying, stop thinking about like, oh man, I might have pissed off Jason Tatum and that he might ask for a trade. Like, he's like, I got to do what I got to do.
Never.
And he also said, and he was kind of like, saying, pay attention to what I'm saying, critics. He's like, you don't put the 5 best scorers out at the same time. That's not how you coach basketball. He's like, with basketball, you have to have defensive players out there with offensive players, with guys who can guard centers, with guys who can guard guards. And he goes, that's the team we're putting out there. Now, it doesn't mean that he's going to be right. He can screw stuff up. Of course, he's human. But here's what I'm going to say. You got Steve Kerr coaching as the head coach of this team. He's one of the best culture setters, vibe guys we've ever seen. He's a Hall of Fame head coach. Eric Spoelstra is an assistant. Eric Spoelstra is going to be a Hall of Fame head coach. He is one of the great tacticians and game planners that we have in the whole NBA. You have Ty Lue, who is also one of the best in-game coaches that we have in the NBA. Almost nobody is better tactically than Ty Lue. Ty Lue runs circles around guys all the time. Mark Few, who is a tremendous, one of the best college coaches going, who has a very good understanding of the international game because they've recruited great international players over and over and over out of Gonzaga. There's Gonzaga guys throughout this tournament that he coached. And Jeff Van Gundy, who is, the veteran of this group, and even Chip England, who's the shooting coach, who's recognized as one of the best shooting coaches in the world.
Chip.
If the U.S. gets beat because their coaches make a mistake, we will have to take the L because we can't. This is our best. These are our best players. These are our best coaches. And if the players don't get it done, we'll have lost with our best. And if the coaches screw it up, we'll have lost with our best. But what they are doing for a reason, and frankly, it's been working.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. We're excited for that. We can't wait for tomorrow. We appreciate all your coverage, pal. And if it ends tomorrow, you've done great, but it won't.
Nope.
This thing's going to ride out for the next
Hey, we
few
got
days.
the women. We got the men.
Oh, yeah. They're just
and we got the women. The women are working on 58 in a row in the Olympics.
like that. Hey, FIBA. Hey, FIBA. Sorry about it. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Windhorst. Appreciate you, man. He's been living in France. I turned on TV. Mike Tirico was standing in that same spot. He's been standing for, what, seems like a month now?
Yeah.
I'm like, I wonder how they're feeling over there. Are they getting any Olympic fatigue?
Yeah.
Are they getting France fatigue?
Yeah.
You know, because there's a couple sports I'll turn on, and I think if it was like 5 days ago, I'd be much more jacked about. Now I'm like, I'm kind of winding down here. Ladies and gentlemen, there is one sport that has come back, though, that is electrifying already. Speed walking.
Yep.
Okay. Race walking has made its return, and there was too much showboating, too much moxie.
Oh, no.
Yep. A lady gets to the end of a 90-minute awkward walk race.
And 90 minutes? This is 90 minutes long?
90 minutes. Yeah. She started showboating a little bit.
Ooh.
And she got passed by a Ukrainian, I believe, who was speed walking. And she goes to fourth place. And guess what that means? Nothing. It was all for nothing.
Forgotten about it.
This is at the finals. Boom, here it is. Look at me. Look at me. And Ukraine's like, don't. See?
No.
She might be running.
So, nope, foot has to be grounded at least. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, no. All the weird walking I've been doing for so long. All the chafing, all the blisters. 90 minutes I get here, I'm taking home a medal. I'm bronze. I'm bronze. I'm bronze. My hips are popping out of place. Hyperextending my knees every step. But it was all worth it. Going back to Spain with a medal. In Ukraine, nope, I don't think so.
Got it.
Think about that.
Oh,
you can't get. How do you ever get over that?
You don't.
I've been hyping up speed walking for how long now? Literally, like 3 months. There's
forever.
Several years.
First race that happens, there's this electrifying finish. Speaking of electrifying,
speed.
Oh, this sicko.
What is going on here?
What the hell?
What?
It's good speed walking up here.
That was a good speed walk. Are you an Olympic? Big Ten country is lots of corn. Oh yeah, okay. This is puddles.
Oh yeah.
Puds.
Puds. Puds the duck.
Puddle putt.
Playing charade.
Puddles the duck.
Here we go.
Puddles.
Hat.
Something.
Okay, I like.
Oh,
Let's figure it out, guys.
Yeah, work together. Let's work together. I like
charade.
this.
2 words.
All
2
right,
words.
sweet.
All right.
That sicko that lied down.
It's got 3 fingers on it
yeah.
and a thumb. The duck.
The duck.
That's
Just
it.
the duck.
Okay.
The duck.
All right.
Pretty good penmanship.
You called him Puddles?
Is Puddles dead?
What happened to Puddles? You took out Puddles? Did you get Yusuf? The shooter?
Oh yeah, Yusuf.
Did you get Yusuf for shooter to handle
your mouth?
So you're just the duck?
Oh, duck hunting.
The duck. You don't like corn? We don't like corn. You like corn. You like corn.
Yeah, you better. Better like corn.
Oh,
Your
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
mouth.
What are you doing? I saw you've been causing some scenes in different universities. I think the people at Indiana and Bloomington would like you to never step foot on their campus again because you laid on their like traditional.
Yeah.
You trying to stir shit right now? Is that what you're doing across the entire Big Ten?
Tan Lanning.
Trying to unify.
Trying to hug. Okay.
Trying to unify.
Yeah, because Dan Lanning did say we don't mind shaking some things up. Have you taken? Is that kind of how you view it as well? How long are you on the road for? Do you know? Next week.
Till next year.
Are you watching the next year?
Is that
They kicked you off campus. They don't want you home.
Oh,
That
no.
makes
They're
sense.
saying let's get the duck the hell out of town.
Yeah.
So they sent you on this road trip across the country.
Stay in
Is this all
Indiana.
big ruse? They said get the duck the hell out of town. They don't like you anymore over there.
Oh, they love the duck.
Are you watching any of the sprinters? Obviously, we know that is what
Opening
happened.
ceremonies, maybe?
What happened?
It's been watching everything?
Yeah, the duck's
Has the duck been watching all of it?
Yeah, the duck's been watching the entire Olympics, right? You've been watching it. The sprinters come from your town, right? What do they call it? The area. It's called something, right?
Sprinter Nation?
Penmanship. I didn't know ducks were.
Ducks have 4 thumb counting 4 fingers. Did you know that? It's like this. It's like Michael Jordan on his logo.
Oh, real?
Yes.
Oh yeah, nice and webbed.
Tracktown USA. That's what it is. Yeah, I knew it was something. I was there. Remember, I was in your town. I was in your town. Connor, you have any questions for the Duck?
Yeah. Are there any mascots that you're worried about coming into Big Ten country? I know
And
they
beating
got-
your ass,
Yeah.
dude. Oh, the Buckeye. You think it's a nut. It's about to bust on you, pal, though. That's the thing that you don't know about.
The Spartan and Michigan State.
Ain't that right, AJ?
Yep, that's what they say.
That's what they say.
The Boilermaker.
Wolverines are mean cusses.
Wolverines
There's
are
not an
mean
actual
cousins.
one.
They don't
Yeah.
have a. Remember, they don't have a mascot.
Yeah, they got a bunch of people in khakis.
It's Connor Stallions.
Connor Stallions is their mascot. Yeah, who would be the Boilermaker? They got a drum. You need to watch.
I mean, there's one clear answer.
Sparty needs to get tested.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, you're saying Sparty's juiced up?
Yeah.
A little juiced up. What are you going to do? You going to walk up to Sparty and shake his hand? Or are you friendly with everybody or no? Yeah, you're fun. Why are you pissing off all these schools then by doing their thing? They said that you did the leg lift on the biggest drum in Purdue.
Yeah, pissed on it.
Pissed on it.
Yeah.
Said you pissed on it.
Maybe little duck dumps.
Why'd you do that?
I mean,
Cute
not
hat. That's a cute hat.
penmanship's got
It was a hug.
Oh, okay.
on the rock.
No, it wasn't. They weren't saying it was a hug.
I was gonna say because
They're saying you're rubbing your.
Yeah,
that's what they were saying.
You're a little dumb.
Coach Signetti wants to blow your brains out.
That's what you heard.
Big time.
Oh, you know he's training right now. Actually, once again, we got the gold medal in skeet shooting, United States of America. Yeah,
Vinny Hancock.
gold medal in skeet shooting. Yeah, we like skeet shooting, don't we?
You're not supporting the team?
You would much rather skeet shooting than duck hunting.
Yeah.
Right? So we're pro skeet. You're very skeet. You love skeet.
You love skeet.
Man, this guy loves skeet.
Skeet and duck.
Skeet, motherfucker. Right here.
Whoa.
Right? Love skeet. Right? Better than the ducks.
Love skeeting. Come on.
Come on. You know, this is like the cows whenever they're saying buy more chicken.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
Isn't that kind of like the way you are?
Yeah.
You're heralded as one of the greatest mascots to ever exist. Are you still humble or are you take it to heart? Humble. Humble, just casual. It's casual. You flying your own car around town or how are you getting around?
Driving?
You can't drive.
You drive? Yeah, you drive with that all?
Ducks can't drive.
We need to watch that.
Unlimited NIL. You don't have a driver?
Yeah, what's that all about? I thought Phil Knight was paying for everything. Are you on a bicycle running around town?
What's going on?
Yeah, people are saying you. Oh, there's you
Whoa,
rubbing your stuff all over the boiler.
Boilermaker Express.
Yeah, that was you giving it a hug, right? Giving it a hug, right? Not disrespectful. This is saying hello.
Teabagging.
Holding on for dear life.
Likes to
I
drive.
like to drive. Hell yeah, I like to fly. See? People are saying you don't know how to do any push-ups anymore, right?
Yeah, a lot of people are saying
They
that.
said, "Oh, the duck isn't going to do push-ups anymore."
Yep.
That's what they said,
No
right?
chance.
Isn't that kind of one of their
Yeah.
stories?
Oh, yeah, that was a Puddles thing.
Yeah.
I don't know about this new duck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's off.
Pac-12.
that's what people are saying.
Oh, boy.
That's what they said.
Yep.
Leaving that in the Pac-12.
They're saying no more.
That's
You want a Burt Kreischer, maybe?
He wants to challenge you.
I'm
Who
not
could do
doing
more?
Con man. Come on, Con man.
Hold
Look at him.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Please hold Duck. Duck, hold on.
Yeah.
Duck.
Go over there.
Duck,
He's
hold
thrusting
on.
at you.
There
He's
is
thrusting at you, Con man.
Before you start doing your push-ups, what is this? What is going on? Who's that? Is that your duck handler there? I see a duck call. I see a duck call there around the. Who is that?
Is that Jack Hanna?
Who? Duck. Duck, I didn't know.
Duck. Quick.
Who's that?
Has he got a shot collar on him or something?
No, it's a duck call. That's a duck call, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Park
Duck call. Park Ranger buddy. All right, what up, buddy? That's good, Park Ranger buddy. Sorry, I mean, I've not seen a human like that in a while, in a long time. Let alone in the Thunderdome. Yeah, we got combat boots on.
Kidding me?
We're ready to get in there if we have to go save Park Ranger buddy here. I mean, you look fantastic. Anyways, Tone spotted Park Ranger first.
Yes, he did.
Tone goes, hold the phone. You can see. So Park Ranger buddy, since you can talk here, they're saying the duck is a inept push-upper. That's what people were saying. We were reading it on the internet. That was more of a Puddles thing.
Wow.
Pretty good? Connor can do push-ups too.
I mean, look, I'm not your guys' puppet. All right, I know this guy comes in and does a song and dance everywhere he goes. But if we want to see
How many push-ups and we'll give away money?
How many medals do we have?
How many? We need Bailey McComas to please come to the stage.
Oh.
If they are able to combine, do 80 push-ups.
Easy.
Yeah.
Come on, easy.
Bill could do
We got
that
it.
by himself.
Can you do
Bill
50
can do
push-ups
100.
right now? You can do 50 push-ups right now?
Of course.
If you do 50 push-ups, we'll give $500 to 30 people.
Wow.
There we go. He's writing some message to talk shit about me not doing push-ups.
Yeah, I see. We're conversations
Song and
past
dance
that.
with this.
Don't let your tattoo get in the way. Okay.
Why would it get in the way? You stupid duck. It would help. You fucking asshole. It's
true.
All right.
He's
not going to do it.
Come on
There's
now.
no way he's not going to do it.
Let him sit on your back, Con, man. Let him sit on your back.
If you
and
do 50 push-ups, we'll give 30 people $500.
Wow.
Who repost this video. And obviously, the Duck from Oregon is here in Indianapolis, Indiana, because it is making its way across Big Ten country and saying hello to everybody and giving them hugs. Obviously, Oregon, new to the Big Ten. Also potentially favored to win the national championship.
Whoa.
Are they going to come into the Big Ten, let Pablos rub its thing all over everybody, and then also win the Big Ten and the national championship? Possibly.
We'll see.
If you can bust out 50, we'll go ahead and do it. How long is this going to take? Pretty quick or no? Yeah, we need pretty quick. Yeah, we got a hard out.
coming.
With the foop on this
Yeah,
thing, they're
yeah.
quick push-ups.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5,
okay.
7, 8, 9, 10. Those aren't push-ups, brother.
It's a bit of a Burt
13,
Kreischer situation.
50.
Here we
Muscle
go.
hamster.
9, 20,
21, 22,
Oh, here we go. They're getting better.
25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32,
Packing the floor.
34, 35, 36, 37.
38,
This makes so much more sense.
42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49.
Hey, way to go, Duck. High five, Duck. High four,
incredible.
Duck. High four. Yeah, hell yeah, Duck. All right, all you got to do is repost this video, say something nice to somebody, and shout out the Duck. And he can potentially be one of the 30 winners of $500. Have an incredible night. We'll see you tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Right on cue there. Hey, Duck, way to go. Now, what we did notice there early is it's not really a push-up. It's more of like a beak up.
Yep.
That's a good gimmick.
That's not your fault. Hey, you woke up that way. You woke up like this. Hey, enjoy the Big Ten. I think you're going to get a lot of hospitable responses from everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Now, as an act of war, he just knocked off Coach Lisa Bluter intentionally, I think. So,
with a tail?
Yeah. Herky's going to beat your ass, pal. You got one coming to you.
He's a tall son of a bitch.
He is.
Yeah.
As an act of war.
We don't know.
It's an act of war.
The Duck.
Could be anybody.
Well, you guys thought it was beak from the push-ups. It wasn't. From this angle.
I mean, good Lord,
What was
Ducky.
it? What was it, Tone?
Honestly, not bad.
Yeah, could have been worse.
Pretty good throw.
Duck
Throw another
move the. Hey,
Punch
there's
one.
that ball. Balls.
Train it.
There you go.
Set hut, the Duck.
Oh.
Get legs.
Let's see how long
Yeah.
Duck could go.
Pretty good pizzazz.
We're gonna test your
bad.
cardio there.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I lost it in the end.
The Duck is a dog.
Duck is a
A
dog.
little
A little
bit.
bit of a dog. Junkyard dog.
There you go.
I'm winded. I'm very winded.
Yep.
Great work, Duck. So I would like to say welcome to the Big Ten.
Yeah, initially I was going to say I was an act of war, but you got some pizzazz. You do. I like what I just saw.
Can you shoot a basketball or no?
Yeah.
All right, Duck.
It's a long shot.
It is.
Come on, the Duck.
Oh yeah, not shooting from here.
No.
Yeah, please.
Where are you going?
Duck.
He's going to dunk it.
Go shoot a layup.
I mean, at least a 3.
Oh, windmill.
Here we go. Drain it.
The Duck from Oregon attempting an NBA 3.
Love it.
Only has 4 fingers.
Oh, off the dribble?
Okay.
Not a bad attempt.
Looks pretty good though.
Pretty good little jumper.
Nice follow through. Yeah.
Quack.
Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack. Quack.
Oh, that would have been the one.
Yeah.
That's the whole
Toes on
song.
the line. Toes on the line a little bit too. But yeah.
Toes on the
They
line.
watch the toe on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well, I guess that's a.
webbed something.
He was shooting from the FIBA. That was a FIBA 3. International. Oh, FIBA ball.
People ball might do better. Slippy.
Good looking jumper though.
Hey, next shot's your best shot. Let's go.
Yeah, head
Here
up.
we go.
But nobody will remember.
Quit potting. There it is.
Oh, good shot.
There it is.
Oh my God.
They look good from here.
They do.
That's the one.
Man, back.
Never forget.
It's football season.
Yeah.
It's football
Whenever
season.
forget. Whenever it's football season.
Yeah.
The Duck is officially welcoming the Big Ten. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Duck.
Welcome home,
Welcome home, Duck. Thank you, Duck. Really good work, Duck. Yep, put it in, Duck.
Drain it.
Got it.
It's football season. He holds it up. Holds it up on the way up.
Guy's got pizzazz. I like that.
The Duck.
Just ran into a door.
Yep.
Just ran into a door back there.
Buddy the park ranger as well.
Tone. Good eye.
That's part. Is that part of
Well,
it?
I thought it was Bill. I thought it was Bill originally because Bill wears shorts that short sometimes around here. But then I saw the
With
duck
combat boots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, could have been.
I did some research on the duck / Puddles situation, the whole Puddles the duck situation. So Puddles was a live duck that the student body would carry around. Apparently, the mascot is just the duck.
Oh, so.
But
So
I
that
feel
was
like
never the Puddles.
Unless they may have changed the story on their net because I feel like they have said Puddles on game day before.
Yeah, but they probably had the live duck on there.
Maybe.
Yeah, because there's the Lee Corso
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
a couple times, I think. Oregon was the home of the infamous, for me at least, there's many moments over there. It's a beautiful place. It's pitch dark whenever that thing starts, because you're early in the morning. So those West Coast schools, how early they have to show up to be there is insane. End of show, we're doing guest picks or whatever. Sabrina Ionescu is next to me doing the picks. This drone flies in. They're trying this new shot. We're going to have a drone, an independent drone operator's coming in at the end of the show. We're going to get this cool shot. Just act like it's not there. Okay, sweet. So we all hear and see the drone coming. Okay, so it's, doing the whole thing. We're doing our picks. We're passing around. Concept was good. I think it was, in theory, a good idea. The pilot, though, was trying to get too close. Like, hey, the cameras are good enough. You can get in the area and get the hell out. So they were like buzzing the tower on all of our heads. Me and Sabrina, more so I think than everybody else because we're kind of in the middle. So it was just one time, and then it leaves. And then Sabrina and I were like, did you see it? She was like, yeah, I saw it. That thing comes back for a second go. She snagged the thing out of the sky, broke it in half, and threw it on the ground. And I was like, dog. Fucking dog.
Yeah.
That was the coolest, because the drone has in her hands.
Oh, yeah. Pretty important.
Obviously, she snags it, breaks it, and throws it on the ground. I was like,
I love that she broke it. Did she know it was an ESPN situation?
But it wasn't technically an ESPN situation because it was an independent party that was doing
She could have thought it was like you could have thought it was, someone with ill intentions, probably.
And if it was somebody at ESPN, like, I think she would think to herself, like, they'll be okay with me doing this because we're all.
Yeah.
Whoa, Jesus. What is that? I remembered in the ear. Remember her doing a drone shot. It's like, yeah, I felt it. Yeah, fucking thing that just cut my hair in this entire thing. That was awesome. Oregon's a beautiful place. Far.
Very way out there.
So far.
Washington, too. For you.
Far.
Yeah.
So far. Beautiful place. Far. So far. What's that mountain in Washington, Seattle?
Rainier.
Mount Rainier.
Beautiful. That is a beauty. It's like in the backdrop of a lot of different, shit that they have. It is beautiful. So far. I'm pumped. The Duck is coming through to see everybody. Say, hey, we're in town. The Oregon team, I'm so intrigued by how their season goes. High favorites.
Oh, yeah.
To go win it all.
Yeah.
They're
Dylan Gabriel. We saw Dylan Gabriel in person. That dude can play.
And who's he looking like right now?
Who?
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
He literally looked exactly like. Was that him?
Raiola.
No, you're thinking Raiola. You're thinking Nebraska
Dylan
quarterback Raiola. Dylan Gabriel is the Oregon quarterback.
Was that Raiola?
From
Are we sure?
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
it was Raiola.
Oh my God! I must have been on too
He
many
looks
milligrams.
and plays like him too.
Sunglasses,
He
the
plays
chains.
exactly like him.
Dude.
Moves like him.
And Patrick said this is little cuz.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is like a Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards type situation here potentially. So I was like all in on that.
Same quarterback coach, too.
So Dylan Gabriel, then his dog.
Yeah,
Yes.
the puppy G.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oklahoma last year.
That's sad.
Very.
Dog passed away right before camp.
Tough.
That's another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who watches your dog during camp? If you have a dog in college,
A lot of these college kids have pets and stuff. I didn't.
it's a big responsibility, man. To have. I mean,
Yeah.
puppies are basically like having little babies, little infants.
Yeah.
They have an NIL deal with like some dog company comes and takes care of them during the day.
Potentially. I respect and appreciate.
What? Uh-oh.
He's got to go poopies, I think.
That'll happen. I don't know. He's a peer. He's a hey, I got to pee really
He's
bad.
been eating Cracker Barrel every morning, though. That's a lot of...
SummerSlam, he does the shit he eats.
Asinine.
It's phenomenal. He's got to be so happy that is what can happen. This guy's eating full stack of flapjack.
Yeah.
Full
Tons of syrup.
Full stack.
Full pint.
French toast. Give me all of them. You know how you get like an order of French toast somewhere, and it's like, that's way too much. He's like, yeah, that's the serving size. He eats the whole fucking thing. There's not even, and we're doing all of the extra syrup.
Drowning it in syrup. Sausage links.
And he's just...
Donuts.
Strapped.
Been buying donuts every week for the past 3 months.
Yeah, and he brings it into us. Says,
come on.
Go ahead, fat boys. Thanks, D-Butt.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that. Before we get out of here, we got to cover all the things that are happening around the NFL with AJ Hawk. More specifically, AJ, joint practices are happening again.
Mm-hmm.
That means big-time fights are happening again between teams. The Giants and Lions were throwing bombs today. Hey, huge scuffle to start this entire thing on the internet. I don't know how long practice have been going. Penei Sewell's throwing big bombs there. He's getting punched in the face. Guys are actually throwing lefts and rights. There was a jab in there as well. Somebody showcasing that Russell Wilson isn't the only one that boxes in the offseason. I mean, there was real scrapping going along. Then in the second fight that we got a video from, there was a defensive lineman on top of an offensive lineman, and it's like, okay, here is an immediate fight because an offensive lineman's getting disrespected. A defensive lineman's in there. They want to fight to begin with because they're already fighting kind of every single play. Daniel Jones comes in and gives a big-time shove to the D lineman before a coach comes and grabs and gets him out of here. AJ, I responded the same exact way you did. I almost bought a Daniel Jones jersey immediately after seeing this particular video. What are your thoughts on joint practices, and what are your thoughts now on Daniel Jones if he's able to and willing to do that?
Well, I'm pumped that Daniel Jones is in there, and it's true. Like, yeah, you do have helmets on, and we understand that, but like, those punches, especially open-handed punches, still hurt very much. You get donged right in the head. So for Daniel Jones to jump in there, it's awesome. I think his teammates see it as well. But you even mentioned it earlier in the show. Like, with these joint practices, I am surprised that every single rep that you do 11 on 11 does not end in a fight, especially when it starts. Because once it starts, I thought when old buddy got hit in the flat here early on in that practice, they've had a couple fights after that. I assumed they might separate and not practice together the rest of the day, but these guys seem like they're still going at it right here, like bam, right there.
Helmet
and then when
off.
everyone comes together, I thought this is like, okay, this is fun, but we're not going to practice anymore together today.
Yeah, and coaches have certainly done that. We're going to separate fields. All right, we'll go back to playing in our field. You play on your field, I guess, because the boys can't take it. Sometimes coaches get pissed and make people run because, you have so much extra energy. Okay, let's run some sprints. We'll get the energy out of you one way or the other. But we talked about it in the first hour, roster spots on the line for 2 teams now, not just one. 2 GMs there, 2 scouting departments there, 2 coaching staffs there, everything you have. If you're kind of a bubble guy, it's like, hey, you have very big opportunity here during these joint practices. Their agents are telling them that, people are telling them that. And then if you hit one of the big stars, now all of a sudden the rest of the roster's involved too. You got Penei Sewell throwing fucking big time rights in there.
Oh, yeah.
You got Daniel Jones, $40 million quarterback in there. It's like, so now it's not just the bubble people. Now it's like, hey, are we going to get punked out by the New York Giants, or what's happening here in the Lions department? And then Giants are saying the same exact thing. The Lions are built to be tough though and gritty. Giants not normally the case. Oh. I like what I'm seeing out of the Giants, AJ. I like it.
Dable has to love that as well. And of course you got to say, hey, we got to be smart, protect our teammates, whatever. But yeah, the worst thing that can happen is that you come in and you practice with a team and they just completely physically dominate you. They push you after the snap, all this stuff, and you don't respond. So, I mean, you have to respond. And we're seeing both these teams pretty much do the right thing, respond the right way. Now, I understand it looks crazy and whatever, but it's true. If you're a coach on either team, the worst thing that can happen is that you just get punked completely by the other squad and you don't have anybody stand up for your guys.
Our boys got no fight. Mm-hmm. How do you know that? They got their asses beat in the fight. Like that actually, like right there, Amon-Ra St. Brown threw somebody, and then that was right in front of all the DBs on their own sideline. So he just threw, and then all of a sudden, wait a second, and then DBs, wide receiver, linebacker, everybody out there. Okay, excuse me, that ain't going to happen. That's not how this is going to go. And one thing leads to another. That's how the fights always go. It's like in baseball, it happens when they clear the benches or whatever, and then people come running in from the back.
Mhm.
That's always a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I got to run 100 yards to go get into this one. This is great
I
news.
get in there.
In football, there's only a few of those. Normally, it's just like room-based or like area-based, but you see a quarterback get involved. There's people coming from.
Then coaches, you're gonna have coaches and GMs start running in and trying to separate
coaches.
people. If they see their quarterback, yeah,
Strength
strength
coaches.
coach.
You're
They're-
teaching it.
they're
You're
weapons.
teaching it.
Watch out.
Yeah,
Watch out for
they
those
wait.
guys.
That's their moment. A lot of them are former players, former college players. They're obviously all jacked up, so that's their moment.
Did you see what happened at Packers family night?
Hell yeah.
Trace Ramirez, who is how old?
He's a sixth grader, so probably like 11 or 12.
11 or 12 years old, goes to family night, has a helmet on representing his team. Okay, he catches one punt out of the jugs machine. Rich Bisaccia, one of the greatest special teams coordinators in the NFL, goes, hey, this one needs to hit you right in the middle of the chest there, right in the middle of the chest. Catches two, use the knee, who cares? There's no way this kid whose arms aren't even big enough to hold an NFL ball, which is a huge ball, coming down from a jugs machine. That appeared to be 50 yards there, too. That's not like some gimme. Whole place goes crazy for good reason. Trace Ramirez is an absolute dog. AJ, this is a beautiful thing. Packers training camp, from the bicycles to the entire town shutting down to this kid having this moment, feels like you guys really do it right over there. It feels like were they doing this type of thing whenever you're playing for him? And who is that kid, if we were to guess?
I mean, he's obviously a stud playing in the probably 5th and 6th grade league over there around Green Bay. But yeah, if you saw the clip, there was a video when they said, "Oh, Packers family night scrimmage," and they panned the whole stadium, and it's almost sold out. Like, it's unbelievable what they can do there, and that's how it always was when I was there as well. Like, it's a huge thing to have this family night scrimmage. The fact that this kid did that, like, I was thinking of, I have a kid, 11-year-old, going into 6th grade. Like, he could. Can you imagine the confidence, how much juice you would get if you not only got called out, you got to do it and wearing a Packers helmet. I caught 3 balls, and the current squad came down and celebrated with me. So yeah, this is no better place than Green Bay for this to happen.
Did they end practice on that? That feels like
should have.
That feels like a potential. That might be at the beginning though, because that's when special team shit normally happens. But if that's how practice ended, imagine that kid, and then he's obviously in the middle. Packers on 3, 1, 2, like the whole
unforgettable.
Yeah, carrying him off like Rudy.
Well, did that?
Yeah, it happened.
Did it?
Yeah. What are you talking? You seen the movie?
He made a tackle too, right?
The last guy to ever get carried off.
Sack. To end the game.
And he wasn't offside.
No, of course not.
I don't know what's real and what isn't anymore.
Nobody does.
Yeah, a couple people.
Ooh.
Good for Trace. We're proud of you, pal.
Yeah. Coolest kid in school.
It's not easy to do. There's professional returners that can't do that. Now, granted, they're not going to be professional for long. Sure. But they are on a team at the current time. That was a beautiful thing to watch. And shout out to the Packers continuing to absolutely crush it. Speaking of crushing it, Brock Purdy ate all of the metal and iron that he possibly could this offseason.
Whoa.
There are pictures from last year to this year, and he is just properly jocked, understanding that he wanted to get the upper body, maybe the show muscles a little bit better. He's probably asking himself, there's a lot of people that don't want to give me any credit. You think it's because my arms aren't just fucking yoked? So then he decided to get yoked. I don't know what it is. I love everything about it. This is the evolution of Brock Purdy. Continue to build the body and the brain of a professional athlete and of an NFL quarterback. The guy's already accomplished so much, so it's hard to remember that he is so young, still learning, still evolving. AJ, he is absolutely jocked, pal.
He is. Have you ever seen the clip wherever George Kittle's talking about him and how this dude's quads are absolutely jacked? He talks about McAfee and Purdy and how jacked their lower body was, and how people don't really understand how jacked Purdy was, and here we go. I mean, I guess it's like Michael Jordan. Didn't he get beat up a little bit early on in the playoffs, and he said, all right, I'm going to go to the weight room and put on 20 pounds of muscle, then I'm going to go and just win championships pretty much every year.
Yeah, and with Tua, there's like kind of a bunch of things happening with body. He knows exactly how it's going to feel now. He knows what he's going to have to deal with. You know, do I have to be a little bit bigger? I don't know if he wants to break a couple more tackles.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wants the fall on the ground if he gets hit to be a little bit lighter because you got a little bit more muscle around you. I don't know if he wants to get stronger throwing the ball. And if that's going to happen and he becomes an even better downfield passer, I think had the longest yards per catch in the entire NFL, even though everybody says he just checks down and he's a system quarterback. It's like, I think we're going to continue to see Brock Purdy change as a human as well as obviously a football player. He'll probably get more confident talking. We'll hear more. We'll learn more about him as a person as he goes on. But you're talking about the beginning of a superstar roller coaster, and this is Kennywood, baby. This is the beginning, going all the way up to altitudes that nobody else can get to. You know what I mean, D-Buck?
Or maybe it's not having Trent Williams out there protecting his blind side. Like, yeah, maybe I should get a little more yoked up top. But Brock, we mentioned it. Like, him being so young, we do forget. Like, and then you look at all the important QB metrics, and he's at the top basically since he's become a starter. And to your point as well, him throwing the ball down the field, those attempts. Obviously, you got to get Brandon Aiyuk back in the fold. You got to get Trent Williams back in the fold. But I loved everything that I've seen from Brock Purdy since his first snap in the NFL.
And teammates see him and go, oh, this guy's been working his ass off all offseason. Mm-hmm. That's literally the first reaction. It's like, have you seen how big Brock got this offseason? The dude's been working his ass off. It's like very evident. Like, I showed up at a training camp one time a little fat, a little chunky. Everybody noticed.
Sure.
You know? And the first thought is, oh, this guy didn't do anything all offseason. It's like, well, actually, my metabolism slowed down. I didn't notice. Okay?
Getting older here.
I was still doing all the...
I was getting hammered all the time.
I was getting hammered.
Did you feel going in, though? Did you feel going in that you were in like normal shape like you should? Or did you were you a little worried?
No, yeah, I looked at the mirror too. Yeah, I saw it. I saw what everybody else was seeing. And I'm Irish, so there was a little bit here.
Sure.
And there's a little bit on the sides. And in football pads, those two things are
very
noticeable. Very noticeable.
All white too?
Yeah, in the Colts, yeah, so I noticed.
How long did it take you? What did it take you? A couple weeks to get to where you felt good?
In the training camp, I didn't look as much of a fatso, but it was not great. But people, that's like kind of the immediate judgment for me was like, oh, this guy didn't do shit all offseason. He was just fucking, look how sloppy he is. It was like, I did, but I did the same exact amount, just the same exact amount of everything else too. And turns out my body's a little different now. We're all learning. We are learning. We are moving forward. You see Brock like that, you think to yourself, this guy fucking crushed it this offseason. And you start thinking to yourself, he's like, he's the most underpaid quarterback in the history of the NFL.
By far.
In like the history of the NFL. With where contracts are right now, he's the most underpaid quarterback in the history of the NFL. So for everything he's already done, in his mind, he's probably like, there's so much more, there's so much to go get right now. Locked in, focused, same offense for another year with Shanahan. I mean, it's like Brock Purdy's primed to have another incredible year, AJ.
Yeah, he is. What impresses me about Brock is no matter how big and jacked he gets, whatever, like, the dude seems to be playing like at a different speed from day one. You hear Lombardi talk about it, like how he goes through his progressions. Like, okay, here, 1 to 2 to 3. This is what I'm looking for. Whatever the defense gives me, like he knows what he's doing. He's not just out there winging it. I think there's definitely quarterbacks out there that are thinking, hey, if my first option's not open, I have a hard time kind of getting through the rest of my progression. I think that's the best thing Brock has done since he got in the league, which is pretty much the most difficult thing to do as an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, in between the years, he was there since literally his first snap in the NFL. Now, he didn't start immediately upon day one, but whenever the season was like, 66% through, I'd say. I don't remember the exact week. He gets dropped in there, and him and George Kittle were immediate. That was like George Kittle's first real action of the year.
Yep.
And him being able to dissect these defenses that were in prime. They were midseason form. These defenses, whenever he gets dropped in there. And it's his first game, and he's already picking up disguises and seeing where people are at. And they're like, well, it's a system. It's like everybody's playing in a system. That is, can you read the system? Can you dissect the system? Do you know where you're supposed to go with the ball in the system? And last but not least, can you put it there? And it's like accuracy insane, arm insane, brain absurd, his humility's through the roof, and now he's fucking jacked. So I don't know what we're going to see, but I'm pumped to watch this iteration of Brock Purdy. Let's get away from football for a second. Saw something over the weekend. Dirt bike soccer.
Whoa.
What?
People are wondering how soccer becomes the sport in the United States of America. I think TSD helps whenever there's target goal time at the end of a game where it has to end on a score and it's a little bit more electricity and there's less people, seemingly more action. This is how you do it. Dirt bike soccer. The red team here, rolling around on what seems to be a 750cc. Cuts past somebody and go! What a cut. L1, cross.
Good pass.
Step over, toe poke, side panel, goal, red dirt bike team in dirt bike soccer. I don't know where this is. Certainly another country. I don't know why there isn't more fans there or fanfare about the sport, but I love it, AJ.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I question the goalie's decision-making right there. I mean, it should have been a somewhat of an easy save, I think, but either way, Great skills and technique by these people on the
easy save.
Moving so fast.
The ball's on the right. The ball's on his right. Here we go. All right.
Cut.
You have 2 defenders.
Fishtail.
I mean, great way to handle that thing.
That guy's flying in.
Toe poke.
Where's he going?
Is the goalie on his feet?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's on his feet too. He's not on
That's
the motorcycle.
part of it.
Yeah, he thinks he's going to get hit with a dirt bike.
Yeah, that is part of it. I get that part, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, he thinks at any given moment, are we worried about the ball? Kinda. What are you more worried about?
This guy's going
10 dirt bikes.
Yeah, this guy's going 60 miles an hour on a dirt
The
bike.
guy's tailfish drifting
I didn't
around.
think about that, I guess. I didn't think about that for the goalies. Yeah.
Goalie's like standing.
Yeah.
Whoa! Sergey! Told you not to do that.
I mean, you going to lay it on the line for the team or not?
Look how
I don't know if I'm a goalie.
Tight quarters right
I guess it's
there, too.
called moto ball is what it's being called. Food court, toilets. Look at these.
Oh, my goodness.
This is sweet. This is filthy. I wonder how many broken. Good save.
Okay.
How do you play
That was a good save. That was a good
Here we go.
save.
What if can the goalie go coast to coast without the motorcycle? And they just come
You're watching Dust, Sweat, and Gears. YouTube right here of moto ball. Oh. Happy the goalie in net has a helmet on.
How much would it suck?
Oh!
Filthy.
Top chin!
Filthy.
Nice.
You sign up for this league and you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to be on a dirt bike scoring goals. And they're like, actually, we're going to stick your ass in goal. You just get to stand out there with the helmet on.
And not also do you get to just stand there and try to stop dirt bikes and balls. What a save. Great save. This is the greatest goalie in the history of moto ball. You're going to be in a barn huffing fumes the entire time. There's 10 of them doing that. Oh, little joust. Oh, he almost eats shit.
Helmet
Saves
cam.
himself. Locks up the rock. Ref says, wow,
ref.
that ref's fucked. This ref is not prepared for the moment, I don't think. They need to think. Green card.
That's bad.
What's that mean?
That means you get to go faster. You get to go fast. Look at that. Donut. Oh. That's got to be the Messi
celebration
of moto ball.
He just feeds him some exhaust after that. Go, hey, suck it, goalie.
And rubber.
Yeah.
From rubber and exhaust. That goalie sucks.
That was a poor effort.
That goalie's bad.
Yeah.
This is what we need to do in America, though. This is what soccer needs to be.
So many broken legs.
So many.
Many.
Oh my God.
Filthy.
That's messy.
Make the save.
L3 there and L1 are the future of the company, of the sport.
The Moto Boys.
And let's go to another sport that would be much more electrifying if it was played differently. Big story in baseball. Don't know if you know this. The Chicago White Sox actually hung a banner in a stadium last night at a game or this weekend at a game, and it was for 20. And you wonder, is that for the 20th time that we've hit a home run or the 20th strikeout? Instead of putting Ks up there, we put the 20, maybe 20 Hall of Famers from the Chicago White Sox organization is going in. Maybe 20 lives were saved at some point in the Chicago White Sox game. No. That 20 right there is for... they have officially hit a 20-game losing streak.
Jeez.
20 straight games, stacking L's. Pittsburgh Pirates are in there a couple times, which I'm very thankful for.
Whoa.
20 games, they suck. Are the White Sox the worst team? Do the White Sox actually have the title of the White Sox? Do these guys, are they the worst team in baseball?
Yeah, actually, and Hembo actually sent us quite a few stats to kind of give us the full picture of how bad this is. The White Sox are 10-47 on the road this year. That is the worst record since the 1945 Oakland Athletics. They have a .237 win percentage. That's actually the worst in baseball since the 1916 Athletics. So, about 100-plus years there. They're on pace for 123 losses, which would be the most since 1899. I mean, that's fucking ridiculous.
1899?
1899, yes. The Cleveland Spiders lost 122 games.
Back to that name.
They've been outscored by 2.2 runs per game, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but in baseball, I mean, that's like getting beat by 3 touchdowns every single week.
Yeah, baseball is never any scoring. Or
well, good teams there are. Teams like the White Sox, certainly not.
the White Sox.
Yeah, absolutely. They're only averaging 3.1 runs per game, which is the fewest by any team in the last 50 years. They've been the betting favorite in only 7 of their 114 games this year.
Wow.
Damn. Jeez Louise.
And they're the only team in the MLB with a 10-game losing streak this year. They actually had a 14-game losing streak earlier in the year. They are currently on a 20-game losing streak. And if you got rid of both of their losing streaks, they would still be 27-53 with the lowest win percentage in the majors. So, yeah, they're like just the nature of baseball. The worst team in the majors typically, like, you'll lose like 60 to, or you'll win 60 to 65 games just because anything can happen. Like Paul Skeens yesterday, you can have the best guy in the league pitching and still, these guys are still professionals. You hit a couple homers, you win a couple games. Like it's kind of crazy when you look at the records pregame. Like the White Sox are 27-87 right now. It's just like they sold all of their good players at the deadline, pretty much, with the exception of like one guy. But even like night in, night out, you guys always talk about like that year when you almost went completely defeated.
Yeah.
Like that's terrible. I mean, can you these guys go to the ballpark every single night and it's basically just like a foregone conclusion. Like, hey, we're gonna lose. This sucks. This season is incredibly long. Like, we're going to lose every single night. None of you guys want to be here. Pretty much everyone's going to be gone at the end of the year. The manager, like, I suck at my job. I don't want to be here. I'm going to get fired. Like, it's just crazy that in a market, too. Like, I mean, the White Sox aren't too far removed from they won a World Series, I guess it was around like 10 years ago now, but like they're not a historically terrible team. So the fact that we're in August right now and this team's already lost 87 games and is on pace to lose the most games since 1899, like it's remarkable. And if you're a baseball fan and you see the White Sox, on the schedule coming up, praise the Lord, because you got a couple wins on the plate.
Yeah, and there's the White Sox organization is known for the scandal that happened back in the day called, the Black Sox?
Yeah, the Black Sox, correct.
And it's
Shoeless Joe.
So now the White Sox, you said they won a World Series. Cool. That's not what I first thought of whenever you're talking about the White Sox. First thing I thought of was like, the Black Sox. Back
for sure.
Whenever I guess 2005 is when they won the World Series, so 19 years ago or whatever they could. Yeah, I think 19 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I think negative stuff. And then I also remember, and Zito reminded me there, they were thinking about moving to Nashville, I guess, before the season even started. It's like, what's going on with the White Sox?
Get them out.
How is this? How'd we get here? How'd we get
And
here?
you did say that with the Black Sox. Like I was thinking, I said this to you before the show. I was like, at this point, the MLB, like I think you might need to look a little bit closer, be like, all right, let's make sure that none of these sons of bitches are betting against the White Sox, because these guys are 27-87. Like, it'd be very easy to just, like, you don't even have to know any inside information. It's just like, hey, guess what? We fucking suck. This other team's better than us. Like, let's bet against us tonight. And we have probably a better than 50% chance of winning a bet. So they might want to, take a closer peek at that and make sure they don't have any guys, betting on their own team.
Yeah, because you start thinking, are these guys trying to suck? Are these guys trying to lose? We just saw in basketball a couple months ago, guy just throwing basketballs over the backboard because you didn't want to hit enough threes.
Exactly. Checking himself out.
Yeah, and I'm sick, actually.
My eye hurts.
I got a cough and a headache and a backache. I need not play this game.
Yeah.
Over under 1.6 points or something like that. Under hits, biggest bet of the night for DraftKings. Wait a minute. Let's fucking look at this.
What's going on here?
That's in 2024.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Isn't that crazy, AJ?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah. You can figure it out pretty quickly.
It was the biggest bet of the night. Remember? That's what.
Yeah, I mean,
isn't that why it happened? Is because DraftKings was like,
red flag.
Biggest loss of the night was this one.
Yeah.
Right here. On who? Doing what? That's what we're saying. So.
Yeah. Exactly. Because, we've talked about this before with, the All-Star game. Like, there are ways you could game it. You're playing a good team. You kind of pitch around the first two guys. You get up to the 3-hitter, the 4-hitter. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to throw this 91 miles an hour right down the middle. This guy's going to fucking hit a 500-foot homer. And then guess what? We're down 3-0. Our offense sucks. They're not going to score 3 runs. We average 2.2 runs a game. Like, there's ways you can.
That can't happen.
It can't happen.
Can't happen. We need that all to leave sport. We can't have it because sports gambling is going to ultimately be good for sports fans and sports as a whole. But we can't have all the, because we're in this transition era, people getting used to it. It's always happened. Like, this is always something that takes place. Hopefully that's not happening. We are just in a hypothetical right here.
Correct.
But what reality is, and the reality is.
Yeah.
They suck.
So bad. Like, I had to double take when I saw that. Like,
I saw the banner fall on my algo. And I was like, man, I was excited to tell a good story.
Like the Athletics.
I'm like, all right, 20 something happened here. I'm excited for this. Track back who actually posted the video. Got to track that back. Pow, rip, post video, which I appreciate people do that, as opposed to just stealing shit, posting it out of context like a fucking scumbag company. That it will come around for you. Just know that. Know that. I thought a lot about it. But like those videos that go, you got to get all the way back. Let me get all the way back to it. Let me read it. It's like, no, yeah, this team has not even come close to winning the game for a long time. And then I Google it. I'm like, no way that's real. Because I don't want to come out here. We want to talk about baseball. I don't know shit about baseball. But I thought the point of baseball is like nothing happens, but you get there. You start scrolling through their games. It's just L. Had to do one load more.
Yep.
L. And then I would have had to do one more load more to get to the 20th loss.
And then a lot of those, like, they're getting blasted. It's not like they're losing, like, I mean, yeah, sure, there's like a couple 3-2s and stuff like that, but in a lot of them, like, they're getting beat 15-3.
Baseball sucks, but nobody sucks as bad at baseball as the White Sox do.
So
congrats to them.
How'd they sneak this in? How'd they sneak that giant 20 into this? Obviously, that's not the team putting that up. It's fans.
I think it was a key string.
Yeah, probably two fans together.
Big key string. Jeez, look.
I don't think they care. It's like, yeah, we do fucking.
Yeah, they probably don't.
At the front door. Yeah. At the front. What is this thing you got down your pants? It's a 20 banner.
Oh, it's hilarious. Hey, actually, you want to sit in center field? You're on the third base side right now.
We'll put you front row, too. You're actually sixth row, too. We'll get you up front so it's nice and easy. You need tape, too. Probably some tape, right? If we're going to put this whole thing up. Let's do that. Baseball's still happening.
Oh, yeah.
When does it matter? It matters now?
Now is the time, where it's starting to pick up a little bit.
What's that, AJ?
October. Isn't that when it matters?
Yeah. Well, obviously, but yeah, end of the month is really when like the playoff picture will kind of start coming into shape.
How are the Buccos? Buccos are in it?
They're 3 out of the wild card.
Yep.
All right, sweet. That's coming from Hammer, Dahn. Let's get one more Olympic update, Tone Diggs. What do we need to know about, pal?
Some things that we didn't get to from this weekend. Another absolute GOAT now for us in the Olympics is Krauser, who's won 3 straight gold medals in the shot put. Just an absolute behemoth of a man and just has dominated the last 12 years of the Olympics.
Big time cowboy. We got a chance to chat with him either before or after his first win or his second Olympic. This is his 3rd straight Olympic gold medal. Shout out to the United States creating this beast. He's a cowboy. This guy is an absolute cowboy. He's a dog. And with how big, athletic, and explosive he is, I immediately said, how come you're not playing left tackle? And I don't want to say he took it as disrespectful, but he said, my whole family's just shot putters. That's what we do. It was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I did not put enough respect on shot putting. And now he's 3-time gold medalist. It's like, yeah, that is 100% on me just for immediately assuming you would want to be a left tackle if you're that big and that strong. It's like he's committed his entire being to this. And now he's coaching, I believe, a Jamaican discus thrower. So not only in the Olympics, also coaching in the Olympics, having a massive impact and imprint on the entire sport. Congrats to him. Hey, we're lucky to have you as United States American.
Oh, yeah, Krauser. And Joe Kovacs.
Yeah, we got silver in that one, too.
Yeah, he got silver.
3 straight for both of them.
Hell yeah, boys. Kovacs just Phil Mickelson.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. How it goes.
Story that we need to be talking about in the Olympics is Kristen Faulkner, who won gold in the street cycle for women's first time in 40 years. Okay, she was going the classic route of going to Harvard, and after you go to Harvard, you go to New York City and you start working for a venture capitalist firm. That's just what you do, and then you start going to some cycling classes in the morning before work. Oh, and then you start entering some local races, and you start doing well, and you're like, hey, I like cycling. I'm going to move to California. I'm going to be a full-time cyclist, okay? And then it turns out a month before the Olympics, you get joined to the cycling team. Then you go to the Olympics and you win a fucking gold medal.
How long did all that happen? How long?
7 years. Okay, she was 7 years from the time she started cycling, doing beginner classes in New York City, like those 5 a.m. beginner classes, to the time she won the Olympic gold medal. 7 years.
Yeah, congrats to her. And it was an electrifying pass too. I think it was like 3.65 kilometers left in the race. She made an outside whoop-de-woo slingshot move almost on the 2 in front, and she just started pulling away, and then they just quit.
Yeah.
The other people just decided, like, yeah, we're not going to chase her so they can make their own little wind tunnel. She started pulling away, and her dad is watching the big screen as it's showing her pull away, and they're not even going to chase her. They're just going to let her go in. And you see him, like, stand up, and he's like, holy shit. And then I think he thought, oh, I'm standing in front of people. So he sits back down, and then there's, like, 3 kilometers left where he's just got to kind of, like, hold it together about how pumped he was. Congrats to her. What a story. The amount of work she's had to put in 7 years to get to that point.
Oh, yeah.
Absurd. And she'll be able to drop right back into venture capitalism, invest in companies and the stock market and stuff.
Yeah,
Of course. It's a good time to start one.
Buy low. Buy low.
Buy the dip.
Buy the dip.
We are we in the dip or are we still on the Dahn?
Oh, we're still on the down. Yeah. We are not. We are. We have
Are
not-
you down, 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 down? Because we need to know when it's all the way down, 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 down. Because I believe that's when. So if somebody smarter than us can figure that out, we'd be very grateful.
Just put out like a tweet, say like, do it now, buy it now.
Yeah, and tell me now that you're going to do that so I can turn on notifications. I don't do it for anybody. I would like to see that whenever that one comes because I think it's going to be a little window.
Tiny.
From my 2009 year, when I first get money for the first time in my life and have friends that have money for the first time in my entire life, and all they say is, I lost my ass last year. What happened? Everything. I lost it all. Where was it? Stock market crash. Real estate crash. I lost all my fucking money. And I go, well, I'm never doing that. I'll tell you that. I'm never going to let that happen. Worked way too hard to just have everything disappear without even seeing it. If it's going to disappear, I'd like to see it, enjoy it, live it, experience it.
Right.
If we're gonna do 100 shots right now, let's at least we're experiencing a couple $1,000 on overpriced liquor, as opposed to just seeing a number on a screen just evaporate. That's how I'm gonna look. But then the person I was talking to at the time, seemingly a super genius when it came to the finances, just lost everything. But obviously, we got it all figured out now. He said, "Now's the time though to get back in there." There's a lot of opportunity whenever devastation comes. It's only for certain people, and obviously, I'm not a part and did not grow up in that part of that world. But let's remember that the sun is brightest after the darkest dawn.
That's right.
Well said.
And it does feel like there's a potential dark night coming, right?
Yeah.
Potentially. That's what the internet's saying.
That's what they're saying.
I refuse to believe that, okay? I refuse to believe that. But there is allegedly that on the horizon. Let's remember that on the actual horizon, the sun's going to come up. Let's keep living. Ton, we appreciate you, pal.
And Pat, you know who else needs to know that? It's our sweet, sweet prince, Kanak Ja, who, he made a hell of a run. He made the farthest run we ever had in ping pong in the Olympics. But he succumbed to his opponents and was knocked out of the tournament. He didn't die. He just was knocked out of the tournament.
Thank God.
Ja did not die.
Gonna say,
But he
Zheng Dong killed him.
He did us proud. He did us proud.
Hey, Kanak Ja, thank you for representing the United States. Furthest any singles competitor has reached for our male table tennis, and there's a lot of table tennis happening around the United States of America. So the fact that Ja's the furthest ever, we certainly appreciate. In the next Olympics, he's not going to have any of the fuckery of the missed phone number on the drug testing thing. So then he misses test, he gets suspended, and he's distracted, he's not focused. In LA,
home soil,
his home state,
That's right.
Ja's taking his paddle, and he's beating the entire world's ass.
Right.
Boom.
We appreciate you, Ja. It was an honor to learn about you.
Thank you, Joe.
Great work, Tone Diggs.
Thank
You're the
you,
man.
boys.
Thanks, Tone. Before we get out of here, we would be remiss if we didn't bring up the fact that yesterday was somebody's birthday.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Evan Fox has completed another trip around the sun.
Thank you, boys. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys.
Happy birthday, Foxy. We're incredibly proud of you. We can't wait to celebrate you this whole week.
Thank you.
This whole week.
Hell yeah.
Can't wait to celebrate you. Happy birthday to you. Oh, no, all the candles just blew out. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Cut to the back screen, please. So he's with Foxy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Foxy. We appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, boys. Love you guys.
Love you, Foxy. Way to go.
Ice
Way to
cream
go.
cake?
Let's keep that away from the tech. I do believe it is always an ice cream cake that gets delivered here for everybody's birthday, but a very special one. Happy birthday, Foxy. Proud of you, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Can't wait to celebrate you at the end of the week.
Hell yeah.
That's the important one.
No.
Birthday's important too, Foxy.
Both very important.
Well,
Without
this-
today, Friday doesn't happen.
Yeah, but this one only happens once. My birthday happens every year.
Well, funny you not
never
getting
know.
Into it. Not getting into it.
Never know.
Not because of a lack of success for your case, but there are times where people have like 10 different weddings to
Yeah.
celebrate one wedding.
What do you mean?
That has been out there before. Nonetheless, we love you, brother. Happy birthday. AJ, great work today. Boys in the back, fantastic job. Tone live from Hammer. Dahn, great work. And we'll be back tomorrow. Big one. I believe AJ will be in this feat.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, because I'll be in Connecticut.
Your big conference, right?
There's a college football conference where they lay out all the new rules and all the new this and the new that. So the amount of information I'm about to come back on Wednesday with is going to be vast.
Here we go.
It's going to be vast.
Here we go.
I can't wait to be. This is cool. This is cool. This is cool. Did you guys know that one is going to be a quite a thing? But very lucky to attend it. Can't wait to do that. And we're lucky as hell to do this for a living. You all are the greatest people on earth. Thank you for allowing us to have this as a job. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.